is ESPN on ABC.
Welcome to Saturday Night Football presented by Capital One. This is Veterans Week on ABC, presented by USAA. And from Amon G. Carter Stadium in Fort Worth, you're watching the Big 12 Conference on ESPN. On Veterans Day 2023, we recognize and salute the men and women who have served and currently serve in the United States Armed Forces. And on 11/11, we cap Week 11 with the last scheduled meeting between Texas and TCU. The 7th-ranked Longhorns get their quarterback back. Quinn Ewers will start after missing the last 2 games with a shoulder injury. The Horned Frogs, though, have dominated the series, winning 8 of the last 11, and would love nothing more than to end Texas's college football playoff hopes. Right now, Texas all alone atop the Big 12 standings, with Oklahoma State getting throttled today by UCF. Handful of teams with 2 losses. Texas off to its best start in 14 years at 8-1 overall. A signature win on the road at Alabama. Its only loss in Dallas against Oklahoma. And as mentioned, no Quinn Ewers the last 2 games, but he is back today. And hi, everybody. Dave Pash with Dusty Dvorak. We'll check in with Tom Luganville here in a minute. Texas fans, Dusty, have been waiting for this for a long time. Being in mid-November with the college football playoff and Big 12 championship all still in play. But there's still some questions we need to answer. Can they win on the road under the lights here late in conference play? And can Quinn Ewers be as good post-injury as he was before?
Everything's still out in front of this Texas football team. And it's year 3 of Sark. The culture, you can tell, is implemented. It's been tough for 2 of these last 3 wins, but they found different ways to win football games. Weathered that storm a week ago against Kansas State without their quarterback. He's back today. It's a team that's built from the inside out, and I can't wait to see what these final 3 weeks have in store for this Longhorns football team.
And Quinn Ewers, before the injury, was playing as well as anybody in the country.
There's no question. And you go all the way back to the Alabama game and understanding coverage as he stares down the underneath route, gets this safety to step up, and then an absolute moonshot of a throw down the field to Xavier Worthy. He gives you an idea of the arm talent, arm strength, pushing the football down the field where only his wide receiver can make a play on the football. The RPO game is a huge part. Off the run, get those linebackers up, middle of the field's open, and he's going to slice and dice you. The quick release to Xavier Worthy for the touchdown. You want to play zone coverage in tight spaces? No problem. Quinn Ewers can read it out, and he can fit the ball where only his wide receivers can make plays. A complete quarterback, and man, is it big for the Longhorns to get him back down this final stretch.
And look at all the weapons that Ewers has.
With some of the best weapons in all of college football. Worthy, Mitchell, Sanders, such a matchup nightmare. And Jonathan Brooks has been exceptional in the backfield for this Longhorns offense.
And with more on TCU, let's check in with Tom.
Well, Dave, this was a team in 2022 in TCU that was teetering right on the edge. They were 6-1 in one-possession games. When they needed things to go right, they did go right. It's been anything but in 2023. They are 0-3 in those types of games. They have not made their own breaks. They've been heavily penalized and highly turnover-prone. And that includes the freshman quarterback, Josh Hoover, tonight, who has shown some really bright spots. And he's very, very talented. But he's got to take care of the football tonight if TCU hopes to have a chance versus Texas.
Tom, this series began in 1897. It's the 94th and presumed final meeting with Texas headed to the SEC next year. Horned Frogs and Longhorns coming up.
The Nissan pregame drive is next, after this message and a word from our ABC stations. Welcome to the Nissan pregame drive. Nissan, premier partner of the Heisman Trophy.
Happy Veterans Day. Booger McFarland, Kevin Nagandi here with you. We've got some action going on. A couple of teams surviving in the top 10, including a top 10 showdown currently on ESPN. That is number 2 Georgia trailing all at home here with Ole Miss there. And let's go to the running game, Dejon Edwards.
One of the favorite plays in America. A little simple, tall, sweet, and let Edwards go downhill.
So tied up at 7 apiece, that game on ESPN. Meanwhile, no Jim Harbaugh in Michigan. It was all about the running game on the road in Happy Valley.
Yeah, Manny Diaz tried to blitz all day. Michigan ran all all day. They didn't throw a pass the entire second half and dominated Penn State.
Final 32 plays, they ran the football. Michigan 24-15. Number 4, Florida State, we just saw this game. They remain undefeated, 10-0. Jordan Travis to Keon Coleman.
And it's really simple. My guy, Keon Coleman, is better than your guy, so I'll throw it to him and he'll make a catch. Maybe the number 2 receiver in the draft coming up. 27-20 the final. Meanwhile, Washington, Michael Penix got the time, and look at that, just flick of the wrist. I don't know how good their defense is, but their offense is amazing, led by Michael Penix. He throws the best deep ball in the country.
Look, here's your defense. That's Dominique Hampton picking off Bryson Barnes to seal the game.
Yeah, that's kind of a Hail Mary. They didn't make many stops during the day, but this was one of them. Good job, and they stay undefeated.
Yeah, 10-0. Number 5, Washington continues in Alabama, and they clinch a spot in the SEC championship. Jalen Milroe, the story.
Scary team, Kev. Milroe, in the past, would look to run. He stepped up, eyes down the field, and delivered a throw. And this is the thing that you know he can do. He can line up and run the football. Very, very dangerous as they clinch a spot in the SEC title game.
Yeah, well played. First player in Alabama history, 3 passing touchdowns, 3 rushing touchdowns. Speaking of rushing, R.J. Harvey from Central Florida, UCF to the house.
Oklahoma State must have still thought Bedlam was going on.
What is going on?
Nothing went on.
45-3.
The bounce house was rocking. Great win for Gus Malzahn and UCF.
Okay, as we get you ready here, with Oklahoma State losing, Texas in the driver's seat here, taking on TCU. What do you need to see from Texas eye test-wise here tonight?
Well, again, it's really simple. I think they have one of the better wins in the country this year going to Tuscaloosa. Here's the problem. We haven't seen that team since then. They've struggled with Houston, K-State, and other teams. Can they play a complete game tonight?
You'll get it prime time. Dave, Dusty, and Lugs, we'll see you at the half.
All right, Kev. They are getting ready here for TCU in Texas. The mascot Super Frog leading the way for the bleacher creatures. But the young kids running onto the field here prior to what is the final scheduled meeting between Texas and TCU. The Horned Frogs made it to the national title game last year. Under 500 this year, but a lot of close games. We'll see if they can turn it around and hand Texas its second loss of the season. This has been the Nissan pregame drive. Kickoff from Fort Worth, Texas is next. And now a look inside Nissan's Heisman House.
You're watching Veterans Week coverage on ESPN, brought to you by USAA.
Texas and TCU here in Fort Worth. Final time these two teams will meet. 94th time that the Horned Frogs and Longhorns have squared off. Texas ranked 7th in the country, and Steve Sarkisian, the head coach, standing by with Tom.
Well, Coach, get your quarterback back this week. What do you think is the most important aspect for his impact on this game tonight?
Well, finding our rhythm offensively, right? When we find rhythm, we stay in manageable third downs, take care of the ball. We usually operate pretty good.
Defensively, you're going against a team that has been prone to turn over the football. Is this one of those units that you just go after them?
Well, I think the key for us is, hey, we got to stop the run, and then we got to try to affect the quarterback, pressuring them in the pocket and disguising ourselves in coverage.
All right, thanks, Coach. Good luck.
Thanks, Tom.
Year 3 for Sark. They already matched their win total from last year. Year 2 for Sonny Dykes. Big 12 and National Coach of the Year 2022. And he's 3-0 lifetime against Texas. 2 of those wins came when he was the head coach in Cal. 3 losses by 7 points or less and 2 by a field goal. They won the toss. They elected to defer, so we're going to get a good look here at Quinn Ewers momentarily. Beautiful night here in Texas. Temperature around 60 degrees. No wind and not an empty seat in the house. Quinn Ewers making his 18th career start, 12-5 record. One of those losses was at home to TCU last year. He struggled in that game. Under 50% completion rate and a pick. And that's one of his greatest improvements this year. He was not accurate last year. 58% passing, but over 70% this year in the top 10 nationally. And we spoke to him in person when we had Texas earlier in the year. He talked a lot about how much he's matured, how much his love for football has grown. He thought that maybe early on last year he took things for granted. But he's grown a lot since. He says his teammates and coaching staff said the same thing. And now he's got a chance to get Texas somewhere it hasn't been in almost 20 years. And that's in position to play for a national title. First things first, winning here in Fort Worth. Saturday Night Football. This will be a touchback, and Texas will start on the 25. So Malik Murphy started the last 2 games, while Quinn Ewers was out with a shoulder injury suffered against Houston back on October 21st. He missed 3 games last year with a shoulder injury. You look at his numbers, 13 passing touchdowns. He's got 5 rushing touchdowns. Malik Murphy had 1 rushing attempt, and that was a sack in the 2 games he started when Ewers was out. Sark told us it was a great week of practice. He said if you were there, you wouldn't have any idea that Ewers had been hurt. Playbook is wide open for him today. And on first down, going to hand it off to Jonathan Brooks. No running room. Grabbed by the middle linebacker, Jamoy Hodge. 1-yard pickup on the first play.
This will be the key to the game for the Frogs. Slowing down Jonathan Brooks and this Texas rushing attack. They've got to win first down, and they're going to have to force Quinn Ewers to beat him through the air. Number 1 item of business for Joe Gillespie in this defense.
Here's Brooks again. And up to about the 32-yard line. So a gain of 6 for Jonathan Brooks, who is the 2nd leading rusher in the conference, 7th in the country, over 1,000 yards on the year.
He's been outstanding this year for the Longhorns. Got excellent patience and a physical runner. Tough running back to tackle. Going to be a big challenge all night for this Frogs defense.
He got 7 yards on 2nd down, so 3rd and short. Ewers with a quick throw to Worthy. It's off target and incomplete. Still catchable, but you could tell that was an errant throw. 3 and out for Texas.
Yeah, the ball just comes out of his hand a little bit funny. Well behind Xavier Worthy, a pass that Quinn Ewers typically makes on time and on target. First throw out of the blocks. A little bit rusty in that opening possession. Big stop for TCU's defense.
Ryan Sanborn, half of his punts this year have been 50 yards or longer. And this is a short kick, and it dies at about the 32. Just a 35-yard punt. And TCU will have decent starting field position for Josh Hoover, redshirt freshman quarterback, who was recruited by Sonny Dykes when Dykes was the head coach at SMU. Originally committed to Indiana, didn't have a lot of scholarship offers. His first start after Chandler Morris got hurt was against BYU. He threw for over 400 yards, but the last 2 starts on the road, he struggled in those games. Chandler Morris, we're told, is healthy and available, but they're sticking with Hoover as the starter. And they go empty here on first down with Bailey, the running back, motioning out of the backfield. And setting up the screen here to Savion Williams, the big wide receiver, out to the 38-yard line for a gain of 6.
Savion Williams has that great size, 6'5", 225, tough to tackle, so good with the ball after the catch. Kendall Browse wants to get the ball in his hands and make Texas tackle him on the perimeter.
TCU goes faster than anybody in college football. Here's a reverse to Richardson, and he's knocked down at the 40-yard line. A flag is down. Barron on the tackle. And there's an injured Texas player. It's Michael Taff, one of their safeties, who's got an interception in each of his last 3 games.
It's going to be on 3, Savion Williams. Be a crack back on Michael Taff. Took a big shot into the chest. Big point of emphasis the last couple years in college football, getting these type of plays out of the game. You hope he's able to respond and come back.
Personal foul, illegal blindside block. Number 3, offense, 15-yard penalty, 2nd down.
Well, been one of the things that have hurt TCU this year. Penalties, turnovers. They're -6 in turnover margin, +6 a year ago.
Bottom of your screen, see Savion Williams coming back. Blindside block on Michael Taff.
That was violent, boys.
It really was. Good to see him able to trot off under his own power after that shot. Taff's been really good for this Texas secondary. They've been banged up, beat up. He's had an interception each of the last 3 games. Been a key piece to the back end of this defense.
So with the penalty, it's now 2nd down and 19. Play action pass. Hoover setting up and throwing a deep ball down the sideline. It's a little underthrown and broken up. Intended for Jalen Robinson with Terrence Brooks in coverage. 3rd down.
Both these guys jockeying for a position on hand fighting down the field both ways. They're going to let it play. I like the no call. Both guys trying to get position on the ball, but you can see with Josh Hoover not afraid to be aggressive, push the ball down the field. Jalen Robinson unable to locate that football. Nice job with Terrence Brooks.
Hoover last year threw just 1 pass, took a red shirt. His dad played at Colorado State, played linebacker, played in the NFL for a couple years. Penalty flag down on 3rd and 19.
Offside, number 88, defense. Enter the neutral zone, drawing an offensive reaction. 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
So on Baron Sorrell, so it'll still be 3rd down and 14, though.
It's an outstanding front for the Texas defense. Sorrell and Burke on the edges. The interior. Byron Murphy, 90, 93, Devondre Sweat. I think it's the best defensive tackle duo in all of college football. Protecting Josh Hoover going to be a real key here for TCU.
Texas number 2 in the country in 3rd down defense. Top 20 in points allowed. 3rd and 14. They rush 6, so they blitz. Hoover gets drilled, and the pass is incomplete. It was there, too. Robinson could not come up with it, and it's 4th down. It would have been a 1st down had he secured the ball.
Pressure coming. Going to bring Jalen Ford and Anthony Hill Jr. Both linebackers come on a blitz, and it's Anthony Hill Jr. that gets home and able to get that hit on Josh Hoover, not allow him to step into that throw and locate Jalen Robinson. Dial up the pressure, and it gets home, and a big hit on the freshman quarterback.
30-year-old punter, Jordy Sandy, booting it. And Xavier Worthy, who had a punt return for a touchdown against BYU a couple of weeks ago with a fair catch. Just a 41-yard punt.
Want to see where your team stands? Just tell Siri, show me the college football rankings.
Take a look at this week's college football playoff rankings brought to you by Prudential. No upsets in the top 10. Obviously, Penn State lost, but not an upset. Michigan winning without Jim Harbaugh on the sideline. Georgia was down 7-0 early to Ole Miss, scored the last 2 touchdowns. Miami played a tight game in Tallahassee. Texas ranked 7th, 2nd highest one-loss team behind Oregon, which plays USC later tonight. Texas' 2nd offensive series. Back to throw off play action is Ewers, and his pass is caught by Worthy. 1st down at the 43, a gain of 14, 50th catch for Worthy this year.
Well, it's good protection, the hard play action, and I love the route here by Xavier Worthy. You got to respect his speed and play off of him, shuts it down, works back to the football. Easy pitch and catch for Quinn Ewers to his favorite target, Xavier Worthy.
They want to get Worthy more involved. Just 9 catches the last couple games. They're going to run Brooks here on 1st and 10. Out past the 45 to the 47. Tackled by Abe Kamara. 2nd down.
No Johnny Hodges tonight for TCU. He had been gone for 5 straight weeks. Had to have surgery on his hand. Came back a week ago against Texas Tech with a club. Re-injured that hand. Surgery this week. You'll see a lot of Shad Banks, Jamoy Hodge at linebacker tonight.
Here's Brooks again, and he's dumped at midfield by Nandi Obiizor. Leading tackler, former safety. So it'll bring up 3rd down at about 3 for Texas.
Obiizor has been so good. This TCU defense off the edge, you mentioned it, moved up from the safety spot to linebacker. He's transitioned very nicely, understands space and leverage extremely well, and he's an added presence as a rusher off the edge. He's been excellent for TCU this season.
Brooks on 3rd down, gets popped stopped at the point of attack. It's going to bring up 4th down. He was able to get a yard before they ruled forward. Progress stopped at the 48, but looked like Texas ran that 3rd down play, knowing that they would go for it on 4th down.
Savion Red checks in the huddle. They love to use him in the Wildcat formation as a quarterback. There was a 4th down last week where he actually fumbled against Kansas State. We'll see if they go Wildcat here with Red in the backfield.
They will. Here comes Ewers. You see him running to the bottom of your screen. 4th down for Texas. Need to get to the 47 of TCU. Red keeping it and hit. Down he goes, short of the line to gain. It'll be TCU ball. Tackle made by Timon Mitchell.
It's an excellent job by TCU's defensive line. They don't give an inch. Hold their ground. Stand up against a big physical Texas offensive line. Big 91 just going to hold the point, get off the block. You'll see the patience by Red, but nowhere for him to go with the football. Excellent shed last minute by Mitchell as he gets off the block of Hayden Connor, and he makes a big stop for his defense.
Of the runner being short of the line to gain is under further review.
So they'll look at it, but you saw the yellow line there, which is pretty accurate. He was short. TCU moved some of their defensive linemen around last week. Sony Misi was moved from end to nose. Dominic Williams from nose to end. And that D-line coming up big there on both 3rd and 4th down.
I wanted to add a little bit of bulk, a little bit of size along the front. So they got 3 guys north of 300 pounds up front. Give them a little bit of bulk, especially against this Texas offensive line. Let's bring in Matt Austin. Matt, do you agree with this spot that we had on the field?
After review, the ruling on the field stands. It's 1st down, TCU.
So TCU ball on its 48-yard line, 1st down after the takeaway on downs. And it doesn't count as an official turnover, but that's something TCU needed. They have no takeaways in their 4 Big 12 losses. They run it here. Bailey with a huge hole off the right side. Down to the 41. Ryan Watts on the tackle, but Bailey, who's over 900 rushing yards on the year, picks up about 12.
Now watch how fast this offense is going to go after a 1st down. They want to get to the line as quick as they can and catch Texas off balance and not lined up.
Bailey, a transfer from Louisiana. It's from Denton, though, so from the DFW Metroplex. As the pass is caught by Jared Wiley, the tight end, former Texas Longhorn, spent 3 years in Austin before transferring to TCU.
It's become a real weapon for this TCU offense. Coming into the game, 50 catches over the last 2 years. 8 touchdowns, huge piece of what they want to do. Good to see Michael Taft back on the field for Texas.
Hoover's pass caught by Williams inside the 30-yard line, and it's a 1st down to the 27. Brooks on the tackle, gain of 12.
With a lot of cushion out there outside from Terrence Brooks. He's playing about 7-8 yards off. And Savion Williams reads the coverage, quick little hitch. That ball delivered on time and on target from Josh Hoover.
They're getting exactly what they want, too, Dusty. Spreading them horizontally and get this defense running sideline to sideline.
Bailey running to his left, down to the 21. Man, he runs hard. I checked that Savion Williams, who was the ball carrier there. So getting the big guy out in space. That's his 6th carry on the year, so it's not the first time they've done that.
I like that from Kendall Briles. Put him in the backfield, direct snap. At his size, he's so tough to tackle. Get him touches and make Texas get him to the ground.
Now here's Bailey, bottled up. Vernon Broughton in there first. Cleaned up by Ethan Burke, who was hurt a couple weeks ago, didn't play against BYU, but had 2 big sacks against Kansas State last week. And a game that Texas led by 20 late in the 3rd, but then all of a sudden Kansas State scored a couple times. The game ended up going to overtime where Texas won by a field goal. They're going to run it here on 3rd down and 4, and there's nowhere to go. Vernon Broughton again. Bailey may have lost a yard on the play, and TCU will bring on the field goal team.
Well, I touched on Murphy and Sweat, but it's also Vernon Broughton. Watch him inside, the quick swim of the center, and he's in the backfield immediately. Nowhere to go for Amani Bailey, and a big tackle for loss going to force a TCU field goal attempt.
And field goal tries have been an issue for TCU this year. Griffin Kell, 11 of 18 on the season. He's had 2 blocked. This is a 41-yard attempt. And it's good. So again, not officially a takeaway, but a turnover on downs that TCU turns into 3 points.
ABC Saturday Night Football is presented by Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Last year in Austin, Max Duggan touchdown to Quentin Johnson in the 4th quarter, and TCU beat Texas 17-10. Ended up going to the national title game in our Affleck trivia question. Losing to Georgia and then following it up with 5 losses this season. Who is the last team after going to a national title game to have 6 or more losses the following year?
I already know it. Too easy.
Go ahead. Who is it?
Texas. Texas after the 09 national championship. I believe it was 2010. I think they were 5-7 that next year.
This will be a touchback. So see how smart you are, Dusty. We know you got a 41 on the Wonderlic, the greatest all time by a defensive lineman. So let's see. Affleck trivia question. 5 losses for TCU. Last team to follow up a trip to the national title game with 6 or more losses. Survey says. There it is, 2010.
Bingo. Look at you spitting facts tonight, Dave Pash. You've been looking at my doing some research on me at the combine.
No, you were just you were bragging about it for like an hour 2 weeks ago when we were in Austin. Ewers off play action, just his 3rd pass attempt, hitting Brooks out in space. He's very dangerous. He's past the 40. Brooks into TCU territory. Inside the 30. Inside the 20. Brooks stumbles, hits the pylon, and he's down at the 1-yard line. 74-yard catch and run by Jonathan Brooks.
Well, this is all set up by Kelvin Banks Jr.'s initial block. And then it's off to the races. Good blocking down the field. Jadon Blue gets a nice block. And Jonathan Brooks, almost a touchdown. Huge, huge play as he stumbles just shy of the goal line. Nice throwback screen, well set up by this Texas offense.
So 1st and goal from the 1 for Texas. It'll be Brooks, and he's into the end zone for the touchdown. And then points to his right arm. Tattoo of his late father, who passed away March 28, 2022. That's what the tattoo reads. Date of his father Skip's death after a long battle with kidney failure. Brooks honoring his dad every time he gets into the end zone. That's his 10th touchdown.
Love the conversation we had with him this week, talking about his relationship with his father. And he said that he believed in me more than I believed in myself. And he said, I'm doing right now what we always talked about. Still holds an unbelievably special place in his heart for his late father.
Auburn with the point after. 7-3 Texas. Bijan Robinson was a top 10 pick and one of the best players in college football last year. Jonathan Brooks didn't make his first career start until week 3. His year has been almost as good as Bijan's in 2022.
Every tap is a turning point. And parents should have a say in what their teens are doing online. That's why Instagram wants to work with Congress to require parental approval wherever teens under 16 download apps.
The Home Depot, committed to filling the trades gap.
This difficulty demands an ease specialist.
Yeah, that's me. Geico makes it easy to get coverage for what you care about. Cars, apartments, jewelry.
Jewelry? Goonie.
It's easy to Geico.
All season long, student sections across the country are competing to be the Taco Bell Live My Student Section of the Year. Download the Taco Bell app to learn more. This guy needs some free tacos for doing that. I mean, that's right on cue.
That's the shirt you were wearing last night. Stole your idea.
It's not a shirt.
You look better. You look much better, Dave. I can attest. Well, the crowd is alive here in Fort Worth tonight. What an atmosphere.
But a little quieter after that 73-yard catch and run by Jonathan Brooks. Now a touchback for TCU. Let's check in with Kevin Negandhi in the studio.
Dave, good evening. Now for our Dr. Pepper Fansville studio update over on ESPN in Athens. Ole Miss down 14-7. Quinshot Judkins, his second touchdown of the night. We're tied up, but then Dejon Edwards, his second touchdown right now. Georgia up 21-14, 10 minutes to go in the second quarter. Back to you.
And it's 7-3 here, Kev. Dave Pash, Dusty Dvorak, Tom Luganville. See how TCU responds after the touchdown run by Brooks. Play action. Hoover on the move. Looking downfield, airing it out, and it's pulled in at the 41-yard line. It's Savion Williams who they're targeting early and often, a gain of 34.
I like the play design. Get Josh Hoover outside the pocket. He's got good mobility and throws well on the move. Put the ball up high. Let Savion Williams climb the ladder, go get it. Nice first down productivity from TCU.
And now we got a penalty flag on the play.
Start. Offense, number 77, 5-yard penalty, first down.
Brandon Coleman, the left tackle. In talking with the TCU coaches about Josh Hoover, they said he's mature, he's steady, he's a winner. He's not a guy that was highly recruited, as we talked about before, didn't really have a lot of teams interested in his services, but Sonny Dykes saw something in him when he was at SMU. He liked his moxie, liked his character. You look what he did in his first start here at home, 4 touchdowns, over 400 passing yards in a win. But a penalty, so it's 1st and 15. And Tavondre Sweat got a hold of Bailey's face mask, and a penalty flag comes in.
What it looked like to me was his jersey.
Personal foul, face mask, number 93, defense, 15-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
Then Tavondre Sweat at 362. He's been playing sensational. Let's take a look here. I don't know.
Looks like jersey to me.
A fistful of jersey there.
The V of the neck.
Fortunate call there for TCU.
And Sweat was motioning that all he did was grab his jersey, and that's what Sark thought as well. So first down for TCU at the Texas 31. Hoover, pump fake, climbs the pocket. To the sideline for J.P. Richardson, Oklahoma State transfer, stepping out after a gain of about 3 with Jahdae Barron in coverage.
A serious stiff arm on the way out from J.P. Richardson. He's got some real toughness, brings a presence to this offense. Understands coverage, good route runner.
They fake the pitch. Hoover in trouble and sacked. Tavondre Sweat gets him back with a takedown at the 39. What a year Sweat has had for the Longhorns.
With Tavondre Sweat, he's going to work inside, work on the center lands. Going to start here, work inside. Watch him as he slaps the hands down and then gets the rip up and gets to the quarterback and engulfs Josh Hoover. Man, excellent inside pass rush from Tavondre Sweat. He's been good throughout his career, but he's been consistent this year and has been a dominant force for this Texas defense.
So after the big loss, 3rd and 17. And in trouble again. Hoover's pass incomplete. Almost picked off, but another flag is down in the backfield. Jalen Robinson, the intended target. Barron had a chance to pick it off. You had Burke in the backfield. Sweat was back there as well, trying to get Hoover to the ground. The officials looking towards Steve Sarkisian, which would lead you to believe it's holding in TCU.
Holding, number 74, offense. The penalty is declined. It's 4th down.
So Griffin Kell does have a 57-yard made field goal this year. It would be from here about 55. Do you try it if you're Sonny Dykes, or do you punt on 4th and 17 at the 38?
Your gut would tell me you're going to punt, try to pin them back, make them drive the length of the field.
They're going to try one. They're going to try
for it.
Try the field goal.
I think they should punt.
He made one from earlier, 41-yard try. This is 56 And again, he made a 57-yarder earlier this year. It has the leg. It's gone. Just over the crossbar, bearing a 56-yarder.
Preseason all Big 12, and you can see why. Absolutely drills this kick dead center over the crossbar. Big, big kick for Griffin Kell. And TCU cashes in after the big play down the field to Savion Williams.
You mentioned earlier you thought Savion Williams would be a big part of the offense. And so far, he's got 4 touches, 3 catches, and a run play, and they've only run about 12 plays. He had the big catch that got him into Texas territory. The penalty and the sack pushed him back, but they're able to get 3 points out of the drive. Now let's see if Griffin Kell can knock it through the end zone. TCU 4-5 on the year, 2-4 in conference play. Texas all alone atop the Big 12 with Oklahoma State losing today. Texas 5-1, handful of teams with 2 losses to be a touchback. So Horns will start in their 25. Tuesday we'll have the exclusive reveal of the next college football playoff. Top 25 rankings in between the State Farm Champions Classic. College basketball, Duke, which lost to Arizona last night, taking on Michigan State, Kentucky, and Kansas. The late game next Saturday at ABC, number 5 Washington, which got by Utah today, taking on 12th ranked Oregon State, with coverage starting 7:30 Eastern right here on ABC.
It'll be a great game. Tough to play in Corvallis. Hey, weren't you on that call last night? Arizona?
Everybody thought that. Well, at least one guy did, apparently. All of us bald play-by-play guys look alike. C.J. Baxter out to the 30-yard line, gain of 5. Shout out Dan Shulman. Great job with Jay Billis on the call of that game. But no, Dan and I are 2 different humans.
I was going to say, I thought you were with me. You are a man of mystery. Shocked me if you were in 2 places at once. C.J. Baxter, by the way, was such a talented freshman. Got good size, burst. Boy, had one of his best games of the season last week against Kansas State.
2nd and 5. Baxter again, and this time he's mauled at the line of scrimmage. Caleb Fox with the stop. Dominic Williams, who just turned 19 a couple months ago, he's a sophomore. He was in there too.
I'll tell you what, so far this TCU defensive line, they have answered the challenge of this Texas rushing attack, this big physical offensive line. They have stood toe-to-toe with them and not given an inch here throughout this game so far.
Texas yet to convert on 3rd down. Quinn Ewers back after missing the last 2 games due to a shoulder injury. Hasn't really thrown the ball down the field yet. Just need 3 yards here. Ewers rolling out, sidearms it complete to the tight end, Jatavion Sanders, who hurdles a TCU defender, stepping out of bounds at the 39. So Sanders able to pick up the 1st down.
I like this play design. It's going to roll the pocket, sprint out, and Jatavion Sanders acts as if he's blocking initially, and then just leaks out. Nobody identifies him, and a nice find by Quinn Ewers to convert on 3rd down.
23 catches for Sanders. Had 54 last year, a Texas tight end record. Sanders been playing through some injuries this year, but terrific player. You talked a lot about the mismatch that he is at that position. Texas will use him in a lot of different ways. Ewers, here's the first deep shot of the game. It's well underthrown and picked off. Intercepted at the 30-yard line. Bradford running it back into Texas territory. And finally down over the ball, but Texas got it back. Texas falls on it at the 35. Bradford coughing it up.
Ruling on the field is a fumble.
And it's Worthy that recovers the fumble.
Texas. 1st down, Texas.
Well, Millard Bradford with his 2nd interception of the year, but makes a big mistake on the return.
Well, watch Millard Bradford here. They're playing center field safety over the top. Man-to-man coverage outside. Quinn Ewers never sees him. That ball hangs in the air, and Bradford's able to get the pick. I want you to watch the effort, though, from Jordan Whittington, tracking down Bradford and knocking this ball loose. Tremendous effort from Jordan Whittington, a senior, a leader, gives you everything he's got. And boy, what could have been just a massive play for TCU gives Texas the ball back.
Here's Brooks between the tackles. And brought down by Kamara at the 42, so a pickup of 6 for Jonathan Brooks.
Which Jordan Whittington, talk about the ultimate team guy, just does the little things that don't always show up in the stat sheet. But that effort from behind to chase down Bradford, knock that ball out, those are game-winning, game-changing type of plays. Tremendous effort by 13.
Whittington, you said big team guys, played through a lot of injuries over the course of his career. Ewers off play action, throwing downfield, in stride, caught by Worthy. He stumbles down to about the 13, but that time Ewers connects after the underthrow pick on the last deep ball.
Well, this time there's no safety help over the top. This is good on good. Worthy working on Josh Newton, one of the best corners in the Big 12. That pass could not have been delivered any better. The speed of Worthy, too much for Newton to deal with, and that pass perfectly placed, Tom. How about that throw from Quinn Ewers?
Yeah, and just so good and up over the top and in front of Xavier Worthy. That's where he got in trouble on the interception. He just threw the ball and it hung up and it fell to the inside. What a rebound throw.
45-yard pass play. Come back with the run. Brooks trying to get the edge. And a nice tackle. Obi Izor on the stop. Bring up second down. Xavier Worthy, such a weapon as a returner, as a pass catcher for Texas. And they were unsure after the shoulder injury in a game situation as Worthy a little shaken up whether Ewers would be as good on the deep balls as he was early in the year. But after that underthrow on the first one, beautiful toss the last time. Gain of 1 for Brooks, so it's 2nd and 9 from the 12. Ewers in trouble, steps up and gets back to the line of scrimmage. Maybe got a yard on the play with Timon Mitchell there defensively. So now it's going to be 3rd and long when we start the second quarter. Texas 7, TCU 6 after 1. We'll be back after these messages and a word from our ABC stations. Saturday Night Football is presented by Capital One. This is Veterans Week on ABC, presented by USAA. Texas alone atop the Big 12 standings right now. Oklahoma throttling West Virginia, so if that holds, West Virginia would drop to 3 losses. If Texas were to lose this game, you got a bunch of teams with 3 losses that aren't out of it. The top 2 teams in the standings will meet in Arlington in a few weeks for the Big 12 championship. 3rd down and 9 for Texas. After the turnover, in fact 2 turnovers. TCU with a pick and then they cough it up right back. Ewers back to throw, looking, firing, and he had Mitchell, but he overthrew him. Adonai Mitchell was there, but it was an errant pass. Ewers 0 for 3 now, passing on 3rd down as Mitchell still jawing with some of the TCU fan base.
Boy, Adonai Mitchell's been so good for Texas here. How about that route? Inside out. Completely throws off Avery Helm in coverage. That's just a missed opportunity for Quinn Ewers. Adonai Mitchell got open. Ewers unable to find one of his top targets.
For the most part, Ewers rusty here in the first half. And now Bert Auburn on for a 30-yard field goal attempt. And he puts it through to extend the lead. Makes it 10-6. Longhorns 10 seconds into quarter number 2. Tomorrow we have a women's college basketball triple header. We start things off with Maryland and South Carolina on ABC at 1 Eastern time. And on Big 12 now on ESPN Plus, the college basketball season is underway with over 275 exclusive games. Sign up today at ESPNplus.com/Big 12 now. A terrific program here with Jamie Dixon, excellent head coach at TCU.
With Big 12 hoops, it is awesome. Now you're inviting Houston in to this conference as well. It'll be a lot of fun this year on the hardwood inside the Big 12.
And think about it next year when you add Arizona in there, Colorado. Under Tad Boyle, always has a good basketball program. Bobby Hurley, Arizona State, Utah.
It's almost like you know some of these Pac-12 schools' basketball programs pretty well, Dave. I wonder how.
It's that time of year. College basketball coming underway already. And great games ahead here in the next couple months leading into conference play.
Is Mr. Walton ready to roll?
He's ready to roll for one last hurrah of Pac-12 basketball. At least I think he is. He doesn't return my text. I'm just guessing. Major Eberhard is deep for TCU. Touchback. It'll come out to the 25. Well, last year TCU had an incredible campaign. 12-0 start, then lost in the Big 12 championship game, and then beat Michigan in the semis, losing to Georgia in the national title game. And one of the reasons why they were so good last year, they didn't make mistakes, and they won all their close games. This year, an entirely different story. That interception that they had earlier was the anomaly, but the fumble that they had after the pick, that's how things have been going this year for TCU.
Yeah, Sonny Dykes has done an excellent job, obviously, last season, and this year it's just been the turnover margin. They have not been able to win that turnover battle. It's cost them in a lot of games this year. Sonny Dykes told us it's in there. He's got to be more consistent.
Hoover's pass behind the intended receiver, Jalen Robinson. Be second down and 10. Well, think about it. 2 years ago, TCU was 5-7, parted ways with Gary Patterson, who won a lot of games here, did a lot of great things. Got TCU to a Rose Bowl with Andy Dalton as the quarterback. But nobody saw that run coming last year. They were picked 7th in the conference preseason, made it to the national title game. This throw on target to Jared Wiley, the tight end, dropped by Jalen Ford, who was recently named a semifinalist for the Dick Butkus Award. In fact, he's got a picture of Dick Butkus that he keeps in his wallet. In a day and age where so many guys don't even know the names or faces of players from 10 years ago, he knows who Dick Butkus is.
That was awesome when he pulled that out, talking with the media this week.
Third down and 6. Caught Williams, and he gets smoked at the 32-yard line by Barron. And TCU's lining up here on 4th down, and now they're going to bring out the punt team.
Well, Jahdae Barron just been so good for this Longhorns defense all season long. Just underneath crossing route, man-to-man coverage, and Barron comes up and delivers a big blow. Got to go low on big Savion Williams. When this Texas defense needs a stop throughout the course of the year, it's Jahdae Barron that is consistently there to answer the bell.
Jordy Sandy on the punt, and off the side of his foot.
That punt off the side of the foot of Jordy Sandy. Good field position for the Longhorns when we get back.
The College Football Playoff National Championship. Monday, January 8th on ESPN.
Quinn Ewers rusty to start this game after missing the last 2 with an injury to his throwing shoulder. Texas is up 10-6. He's 4 of 7. Does have 139 passing yards, but 73 of those were on a big play, just a dump off to the running back, Jonathan Brooks. He had the pick on the underthrow on the deep ball, but he has good field position to start this drive after a 22-yard punt. Ewers setting up, lobbing to the sideline, caught by Worthy, and he's free down the right sideline and into the end zone for the Texas touchdown. It's a 57-yard touchdown pass. Ewers to Worthy.
Well, play action pass, and it's one-on-one on the outside.
First down, Texas,
and you're going
at
to
the 38.
see Xavier Worthy win against coverage from Josh Newton. Once again, Josh Newton takes a bad angle.
So
as he breaks on the football, you got to get him down in that spot.
He stepped out, and Texas was celebrating. TCU's defense was coming off the field, and you could see there he was out, but nobody saw it. Still a first down, and Ewers back to throw. To the sideline again, through the hands of Jatavion Sanders. Nobody saw, though, the official mark Worthy out of bounds. Texas was celebrating. TCU was running to the sideline. All of a sudden, Sonny Dykes like, get back out there.
Got to be careful if you're Josh Newton. He's an outstanding corner on the outside, one of the great leaders of this TCU defense, making his 56th career start here tonight. But that angle on that, fortunate, Worthy stepped out of bounds.
Penalty marker down.
Christian Jones might have moved on the right side.
Jones back after missing last week. He had started 43 games in a row. The right tackle.
False start. Offense. 2 players were moving when the ball was snapped and were not set. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
That'll make it second down and 15 for Sark and company. Year 3 for Steve Sarkisian. 5-7 in year 1. Got off to a great start last year. Struggled down the stretch. Finished 8-5. They're 8-1 this year. It's their best record through 9 games since 2009. When Colt McCoy and the Longhorns won the Big 12, made it all the way to the national title game. Last time they won the Big 12 conference. C.J. Baxter stood up and thrown down by Hodge. Gain of about 2 to the 41.
With your boy Hodge, such a physical player for this TCU defense. I asked him yesterday, I said, man, you're physical. Have you always been that way? He said, I like to hit people. He said, I always wanted to play defense. He said, I'd rather go hunt than be hunted. Nice job hunting there on second down.
From North Carolina, but only scholarship offer out of high school was to a Division II school, Wingate. Went to a junior college and now a captain for the TCU defense. Ewers on third down and 13. And just throws it out of bounds. Some flags fly in as the receiver, Worthy, maybe was held over there. Josh Newton, another captain on the TCU defense, may be the guilty man.
Holding. Number 2, defense. 10-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
So they keep the drive going. That would have been 4th down.
Josh Newton, man-to-man coverage as he's working on Xavier Worthy pretty much all night. We've seen this matchup. Aggressive at the line of scrimmage, and he never disengaged. Never let off of Xavier Worthy. He's smarter than that if you're Josh Newton. He's a veteran leader of this team. Can't make that mistake.
Here's Brooks. Falls down at the 24. Feet are always moving. Brooks is always falling forward. They've had so many great running backs in the history of Texas football. And he's going to be close to 1,100 yards on the ground by halftime. Got 10 touchdowns on the season. And one thing that when Quinn Ewers was hurt that the coaches said is he became more of a leader. Really stepped up, more vocal when Ewers went down. 2nd and 3. Here he is again. Nice cutback. And Brooks inside the 20 down to the 18 for 6 more yards.
What I like about Jonathan Brooks is the patience. Counter play off the right side. He's slow to go, allows his blockers to get out in front, and then the vision and cutback, and he runs with power and physicality. Really is the total package. Been so impressed watching Jonathan Brooks all season. You go all the way back to that Alabama game. It was him in the 4th quarter that iced that game away, and he hasn't slowed down since.
Texas in the red zone. Brooks getting another carry. Hodge is there, wraps him up. But again, Brooks falling forward, getting a yard that he probably shouldn't have for a total of 3 for Jonathan Brooks there on first down. Brooks hobbling a little bit to the Texas sideline. Texas has not been very good in the red zone this year. 98th nationally. And they've scored 30 or more in every game. First time in Texas history they've done that through 9 games. Ewers finds Worthy. Trying to get to the outside at the 10. And out of bounds. Tackled out of bounds by Shad Banks. No flag, though. He's short of the line to gain, so it's going to be 3rd down.
Xavier Worthy with a good stiff arm and speed to the perimeter. Nice job by Shad Banks, the 250-pound linebacker who can absolutely fly, chasing him out of bounds. But I think they got enough.
Yeah.
That's going to move the chains. Nice job in the open space by Xavier Worthy.
And that's on the far sideline. They're having a little trouble getting the down right. Now they have it corrected. I may look at this again here further to see if he did get the first down.
The ruling on the field of the runner reaching the line to gain is under further review.
So it's either Going to be just short or enough to move the chains, which would then make it 1st and goal from the 8.
Xavier Worthy is just such a problem. We'll take another look at this. Does he get? No, he's short. He's
short by a yard, right?
I mean, just inside what looks like the 9-yard line.
ABC Saturday Night Football, presented by Capital One, is brought to you by USAA. This Veterans Day, go beyond thanks to make a difference.
As we salute all of our nation's veterans, want to acknowledge a couple members of our crew. Nick Chromiak, who served from 2000 to 2009 in the U.S. Air Force, retiring as a staff sergeant, and Dave Carpentier, who served in the Army. 3rd down and 1. He was short of the line to gain. After review, they change it at the 9-yard line. Need to get 1 here.
To run behind their tight ends off the right side in this formation.
Yep. Brooks on the cutback, and it's going to be close. He lunged as Hodge came in and had him wrapped up. See where they spot it. Looks like he's going to be short. They spot it back at the 9. It's 4th down. What do you do?
I think Sark's going to go for it here. I think Sark's going to say, this is who we are. I think he wants to try to make a statement right here. TCU's already gotten 1 big stop on 4th down. This would be absolutely massive if they could come up with another 4th down stop.
Analytics say go. Sark will go. 4th down and 1. False start on Texas, and that will now force Sark to change his mind.
False start, number 70, offense, 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
2 penalties by Christian Jones on this drive, and now Sark will send on the field goal unit.
Well, just big mistake right there in 4th and short. That'll drive Steve Sarkisian absolutely batty as his veteran offensive tackle moves ever so slightly. It doesn't take much. It draws the flag.
Bert Auburn made one from 30 yards away earlier. This is a 32-yard attempt. A little power fade there at the end. And it's good. So Texas extends the lead to 7-13-6 with 8.5 to go in the 2nd quarter here at TCU in the last meeting between these two. Kick off your Sunday with NFL Countdown at 10 a.m. Eastern on ESPN with all the early breaking stories, injury updates, previews of each game, and then our Week 10 Monday Night Football matchups. An improved Denver team. The Broncos off last week. They've won 2 in a row, though. They take on the Bills. 8 Eastern, ABC, ESPN, ESPN Deportes, Peyton and Eli on ESPN2. Dave Pasch, Dusty Dvorak, Tom Luganbill here in Fort Worth. Beautiful night here in mid-November. Texas is at Iowa State, home against Texas Tech. Final games of the year. They went out, win the Big 12 championship. Great chance to make the college football playoff. Here's Kevin in the studio.
Hey, time now for our Chick-fil-A move on the field. Number 1, Ohio State. What do you got to do? Get the ball to the best player in the country.
Yeah, no doubt about it, Kev. Any way necessary. One-on-one coverage, throw it up to him. The receiver has his outflanked the cornerback. Great catch by Marvin Harrison Jr. And then again, let's do it again. Inside slant, touchdown.
3 total touchdowns, including his first career rushing touchdown. Ohio State cruising against Michigan State. Back to you.
People maybe thought, Kevin, that Texas would have its way with TCU, but so far, Horned Frogs down a touchdown. And here's a little dump-off pass to Wiley. And he's out to about the 28-yard line for a gain of 3.
TCU needs to get something going here offensively. This Texas defense, they've been excellent all season, but TCU's moved the ball. They're the 16th offense in total yards, and tonight, just 70 yards of total offense, 72 after that. They got to get it going.
And Williams with a gorgeous catch over the middle. They only gave Wiley 1 yard on 1st down. They said he went down earlier than looked originally, and then again, the target to Savion Williams, who's been the go-to guy for Hoover here. 1st down for TCU, so good start to the drive for the Horned Frogs.
Strong hands and full extension from Williams.
Hoover back to throw, in trouble, gets out of there, and then pounded to the ground by Byron Murphy. Sweat was back there first. Murphy on the cleanup, and there's an injured TCU offensive lineman.
You're going to see here, and then the wrap outside by Murphy. It's Sweat that gets there initially, just gets up the field, and then Murphy on the wrap. Defensive tackle duo combined with the pressure and the big sack.
Andrew Coker, the right tackle, injured for TCU. Not the first time Josh Hoover and Quinn Ewers have squared off back in 2020, with Ewers growing up about 40 minutes away from here and Hoover about an hour away from here. Hoover remembered the score almost exactly when we were talking about it with him yesterday. Both guys had good days. Combined 9 touchdowns, almost 800 passing yards. Ewers was obviously very highly recruited. Hoover not so much, and when Hoover got here, he actually lost 30 pounds to get down to about 190. See what he does here on 2nd down and 20, making his 4th straight start. Hands it off to Bailey, who gets spun down by Jalen Ford at the 29-yard line. So just a gain of a couple there to bring him 3rd down and long.
Boy, the tough sledding offensively continues for TCU. Backed up in 3rd and super long here. This Texas defense has just really been physically imposing all throughout this first half.
Putting Hoover in a tough spot here. 3rd down and 17. We'll see if TCU just stays conservative and runs it. They're 0 for 4 on 3rd down.
Savion Williams really been the only player in the first half to do much.
Texas bringing pressure. And there's Williams on the catch, breaking a tackle, but only gets 10, making it 4th down at about 8. And so TCU will have to punt it away. 6.5 to go here in the first half.
And ball comes out very quick, and that pass clearly thrown well shy of the yardage needed for the first down. Just wanted to get the ball out quick with the way this Texas pass rush has been coming all night. Savion Williams is good with the ball in his hands, but a host of Texas defenders get him down well shy of the first down.
Jordy Sandy's last punt went 22 yards. See if the 30-year-old, who's the 5th oldest player in the country, could do better here. And he does, driving Xavier Worthy back, and he lets it go, and then it kicks sideways out of bounds. But Texas will have to start around its 15-yard line after a 47-yard punt.
It's been a mixed bag for Quinn Ewers tonight. A little bit of rust, the opening possession. It's a nice screen pass well wide of Xavier Worthy. This one almost looks like a punt. Way too much air underneath the football as it's picked off by Bradford. And then he comes back on the next drive and throws an absolute dime to Xavier Worthy. And then another nice pass to Worthy once again on the last field goal drive. Worthy doesn't step out there. That'd be a touchdown. So a little bit of good, a little bit of bad from Quinn Ewers here in his first half. But great to see the Texas quarterback back on the field.
Anything you're noticing from down there, Tom?
Catch up with you after this play.
All right. Here's Jonathan Brooks, and nothing there. Gobbled up by Paul Oyewale. Maybe one. Go ahead, Tom.
Yeah, I think it's just been a bit hit and miss. You know, we've seen him look really sharp, really on the mark, and then when he's off, he's just off a tad. And that just may be from having to sit. You're not getting a lot of rotation. You're not getting a lot of range of movement while you were down, and then you start practicing again, and you're just getting back into the flow. But practice is not like the live bullets here tonight. So I think he'll settle in and be just fine.
2nd down and 9 after the 1-yard gain by Brooks. Play fake. Ewers setting up. Going to throw it back to Brooks. This one for a big play in the first quarter, but TCU defends it much better this time. Abe Kamara was there. He read it and made the play, and it's a loss of 3.
And it's great effort to the football. Rick DeBrew helps him to defensive end position, get out there and allow nowhere for Jonathan Brooks to go. Nice defense by Joe Gillespie's squad to set up 3rd and long. He dial up a pressure here and try to put some heat on Quinn Ewers. Joy Hodge, an excellent blitzing linebacker.
And Hodge is coming after him. Ewers pass over the middle. Oh, nice catch by Sanders for a 1st down. Had he not made that catch, Mark Perry might have picked it off. Gain of 19.
Boy, this is excellent concentration by Jatavion Sanders. Pass thrown behind him, tight coverage there from the TCU defender, but Jatavion Sanders, strong hands to catch that pass.
Ewers going to throw again. Everybody covered. Ewers moving around and then just throws it away. Good job downfield by TCU's secondary.
This TCU defense come to play here, especially against the run. I've been impressed with what they've been able to do up front of their defensive line. It's an outstanding Texas rushing attack, and TCU has answered the bell here early on.
When you go back to last year in Austin, TCU held Texas to under 200 yards of offense, the lowest for Texas in a Big 12 home game. Obviously different year, different teams. Brooks grabbed at the ankles, and that was enough to slow him down. Kamara in there again. And it's a 2-yard gain. So 3rd and 8 now with 4 minutes left here in the first half.
Frogs defense flying around. Obi Izor there initially, and then several Frog defenders get there in pursuit of the football.
See if TCU comes after him on 3rd down and 8.
Empty Sanders out here all by himself.
TCU tied for 2nd in the Big 12 in sacks with 22. No rush for. Ewers looking, and a flag comes in. Might be another hold on TCU as Xavier Worthy was trying to get away from Josh Newton. Otherwise, it was probably grounding on Ewers.
Holding, number 2, defense. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
Well, Josh Newton's been following Xavier Worthy around all night. Wherever he goes, he's right there in his hip pocket. In the slot, been very handsy. And he gets that grab and gets that spin on Xavier Worthy. Pretty easy call there by the official. Josh Newton pleading his case, but you can't get that grab and the receiver go to the ground.
It's a guy that started 56 games between Louisiana Monroe and TCU. I know Worthy's a tough cover, but you got to be smarter than that. Baxter out to the 49 for a gain of 5. Nearing 3 minutes to go here in the first half. Texas by 7. Longhorns trying to stay alone atop the Big 12 standings and go to 6-1 in league play. It's their best start in conference in a decade. Another run play. Baxter spun forward and thrown close to the line to gain. So it's going to bring up 3rd down and a yard.
TCU's been really good in short yardage so far here tonight.
They run it. Good effort by Baxter. Gets the first down to the 45. He was stuck at the line of scrimmage, but bounced off the defender to move the sticks to the 45. 2.5 remaining.
You see the physicality there by C.J. Baxter. Looked like he was going to be stopped right there at the line of scrimmage. Lowers the shoulder, keeps the legs moving, and it moves the chains. Nice piece of running by the true freshman.
Well, he don't look like a true freshman, does he? That is a big physical back, and he runs like an upperclassman. He runs with forward lean, and he gets better as the game goes on.
Baxter was the starter at the beginning of the year. Then Jonathan Brooks took over game 3. Jaden Blue is in now at running back. And a penalty marker down.
It's going to be on Kelvin Banks.
False start. Number 76. Offense. 5-yard penalty. First down.
And some pushing and shoving afterwards. I don't know that there's a lot of hate that Texas has for TCU, but there's no question TCU has a ton of hate for Texas. No penalty flags, though, as that subsides, and it'll be 1st and 15 after the penalty.
Pushing and shoving up front.
Dominic Williams getting into it with Campbell and Majors, and Obi Izor steps in there.
Dominic Williams, well, he is a very, very good defensive tackle. He's now moved to defensive end for this TCU front. He started his first game last year against Colorado at 17. Started every game the season ago. Freshman All-American. Bright future for number 52 up front for the Frogs.
2-minute mark. Each team with all of its timeouts. 1st and 15 for Texas at midfield. Ewers to throw, and it's Worthy on the catch. A lot of cushion there from Josh Newton, who's been called for 2 holding fouls. Worthy steps out of bounds at the 39-yard line, a gain of 11 on 1st and 15.
Xavier Worthy's just such a tough cover. You get up at the line of scrimmage, get handsy with them, drawing flags. Now Josh Newton gives that cushion, and you see how quick and how good of a route runner Xavier Worthy is, and a quick, easy throw for Quinn Ewers. They can't figure this out, and Josh Newton's as good as you'll see in the Big 12. They can't quite figure out what to do here with Xavier Worthy.
Worthy already right at 100 yards on the day receiving. Play fake, setting up Ewers, lobbing it for Sanders. And he makes the catch before getting knocked down at the 20-yard line. First down in the red zone, Longhorns.
Well, play action pass, good protection from the offensive line, just an over route from Jatavion Sanders. And man, he is just a matchup nightmare as he goes up and gets a nice gain. Another first down. This very impressive drive here by Texas as they're closing out this first half.
Texas taking some time off the clock here. Doesn't want TCU to get the ball with any time on it. And Ewers drops the ball, picks it up, and throws it away. Worthy was in the area, but that clearly was just a hoist out of bounds by Ewers.
Smart play by him, though. You know, knows he's got a receiver out there, even though he's within the tackle box, knows he can get rid of it. Ball goes, you know, just over the head of a wide receiver. So instead of, you know, a negative play, come back and you fight next down.
Clock stopped after the incompletion at 1:18. 2nd and 10. That's Worthy in motion. They fake the pitch to him. Ewers now going to throw it to him out on the perimeter. And he's able to break a tackle inside the 15 and knocked out of bounds. And a flag comes in. Avery Helm missed the tackle, came back, got him out of bounds. But again, penalty marker thrown on the play.
Had to be smarter than this.
After the play was over, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 21, late hit out of bounds on the defense. Half the distance to the goal, automatic first down.
It's on Bud Clark. So there's Helm knocking him out of bounds, and then, yeah, I mean, just
fully
not
out
smart.
Of bounds. Yeah, Bud Clark's got to be smarter than that. He's the leader on this team, one of the captains. Xavier Worthy, both feet out of bounds. You can't come up from behind and hit a guy when he's already out. Got to be smarter than that.
So now it's 1st and goal on the 6. Jonathan Brooks back in. He has a rushing touchdown in this game. 6 offensive linemen in there for Texas. They'll throw it. Ewers fade. Mitchell adjusts. Makes the catch. Touchdown, Texas. Adonai Mitchell with his 9th touchdown of the year. That's his 5th in his last 4 games. And Texas extends the lead.
Well, the route once again from Adonai Mitchell. Head fake inside. This pass delivered outside where only Mitchell can make a play on the football. Perfectly placed. A good strong hands to secure the catch. Hands underneath the football. 9th touchdown catch of the year from Adonai Mitchell.
A little bit of a push off, but you see that a lot, and it's not called. 13 play, 85 in trouble with the snap, and the ball is incomplete on the pass attempt by Ryan Sanborn. The holder is also the punter, and so a failed point after. It's 19-6 still with 1:01 to go.
Take one more look at this touchdown. Adonai Mitchell. See him just work outside. He's going to give a little head fake and then work out. And the route running by him been so impressive throughout the course of the season. The head fake inside gets just enough. And then the ball placement from Quinn Ewers, very good. Not just on the holder. Snap was good. Sanborn unable to get that snap down clean. And Texas gets the touchdown, but unable to convert on the point after.
TCU will get the ball to start the 2nd half, but even though they're going to have a minute left here, is there enough confidence in them to actually do something with the football? Right now, they're averaging less than 4 yards per play. They've run 21 plays to 40, by the way, for Texas. And TCU with 83 yards to 288 for the Longhorns. This is a TCU offense that ranks highly in the top 20 in a lot of categories. But this is a great Texas defense. We talked with Kendall Briles, the offensive coordinator. He said it's the best defense, certainly up front, that he's seen in a long time. And a lot of coaches, we've had Texas a bunch, a lot of coaches have said that to us this year. Touchback, it'll come out to the 25. Let's check in with Kevin.
Dave, Capital One halftime report minutes away. Booger McFarland, Kevin Negandhi here. Right now, Georgia looking really good at home in Athens against Ole Miss. And it's the Marvin Harrison Jr. show for Ohio State. Highlights coming your way. You were really impressed with Michigan. Statement in Happy Valley.
No doubt. It's not just they won, it's how they did it. Control the clock. Didn't throw a single pass in the second half. The offensive line had to love that physical domination by the Wolverines.
The reaction that you need to hear from Happy Valley after that victory for Michigan, we got it coming on your way at the half. Back to you.
I'm assuming with some bleeps.
Yes. Yes, I would say that's correct, Mr. Pash.
Hoover on the move, lobbing it downfield, and it's underthrown and intercepted, picked off by Terrence Brooks. A disastrous turnover here in the final minute. That can't happen if you're Josh Hoover. Bad interception gives Texas the ball at the plus 43 with plenty of time and timeouts.
With the mistakes you can't have against a team like Texas. Now it's zone coverage. Watch Terrence Brooks. He's just going to sink, and eyes on the quarterback. And I don't think Josh Hoover ever saw him. He's looking at that safety over the top. And Terrence Brooks continues to get depth in zone coverage and steps right underneath that football. And that's when Josh Hoover wishes he could have back. Only saw the safety over the top. Thought he was going to be able to find his target. And it's another interception for the freshman quarterback.
It's his 8th on the season. He had a big one end of the third quarter last week. They were leading Texas Tech. That changed momentum. Now the defense has to come up with a stop. They've been on the field a lot today. Ewers. And here's Worthy again out in space. Brought down by Newton at the 37. Sark going to call a timeout with 40 seconds left.
When you play Texas, you better locate number one.
Texas takes their first charge.
And Steve Sarkisian does such a good job formationally moving Xavier Worthy all over the field in motion. I mean, he is just his speed. You got to respect it. He is such a tough cover for opposing defenses.
We weren't sure how Quinn Ewers would come out in this game. Just having a couple weeks off. You never know about that shoulder. Sark said in practice he looked great. We saw that underthrow. Since then, and Tom mentioned this too from his vantage point down on the field, he sensed Ewers after that long pass kind of settled in. It feels like that's been the case here. It helps when you have an excellent running game, and Jonathan Brooks is getting a lot of work today. 14 carries here in the first half.
He is, but boy, I'll tell you what, the wide receivers help a quarterback a lot as well.
Sure.
And when you've got guys like Xavier Worthy who can get open, Adonai Mitchell, Jatavion Sanders, I mean, it's an embarrassment of riches for this Texas offense with what they have, wide receiver, tight end, and running back.
Their one loss came down to the wire in a game against Oklahoma. They have one of the best wins, maybe the best win of anybody this year at Alabama week 2. Alabama looks like a championship contender the way the Tide have played lately. Here's Ewers throwing again, this time Brooks, and he steps out right at the marker. It is a first down. 35 seconds to go here in the half.
That's a good, strong catch by Jonathan Brooks. Pass out in front. You see the confident hands as he plucks that ball from the air, gets enough to move the chains and steps out of bounds.
I think that's another one of the reasons why Xavier Worthy and Jatavion Sanders are so important, is it creates opportunities underneath for these backs.
They've got maybe the best supporting cast around a quarterback in the country. Almost 300 yards of offense here in the first half. Ewers back to throw, in trouble, being chased, and throws it away. Dominic Williams got into the backfield. 30 seconds to go. 2 timeouts left for Texas. Keep in mind they had an issue on the point after, so you always wonder if that's in the head of a snapper or holder. If they're in a situation where they have to try a field goal. Texas is at Iowa State next week. Then on Black Friday on ABC, they got Texas Tech. Red Raiders starting to play better. They got a win on the road at Kansas today.
Worthy isolated up top.
Ewers looking the other way. Everybody covered. Now comes back to Worthy, and he got it to him. How was that not picked off by Josh Newton? But it's a first down for Texas inside the 25. Gain of 11.
When the protection is there all day for Quinn Ewers to survey the field, it's a 3-man rush. And really Worthy the last option on his progression, and he zings it over just over the fingertips of Josh Newton.
Now they're going to run Brooks inside the 15. Brooks busting it to the outside. Inside the 5. Heading for the pylon. And in. Touchdown, Texas. Jonathan Brooks, so good with the ball in his hands. That's his second touchdown of the first half. Saw him hit the pylon there, and it's 25-6.
And he's in. Foot stays in, reaches out, hits the pylon. And it's this Texas offense cashing in after the takeaway from their defense. And boy, closing out this first half with an exclamation point. Wow.
You wonder, did Sark have any idea at the start of the year what he had in Jonathan Brooks? Because, again, Brooks, as the extra point is good this time, he didn't make his first career start until week 3. And he's had 5 100-yard games this year. He's had 2 other games where he's had 98 and 99 on the ground. And so far in this game, he had a big catch. And he's got 67 rushing yards and 2 scores.
He has been nothing short of outstanding for this Texas offense all season. And you're going to see here once again, it's just patience by him. He's going to start here, and he's going to work his way into the end zone. He's going to allow his blocks to set up. Simple zone blocking. The slight hesitation and the vision in the open field as he gets into the end zone. Takeaways are great, but what do you do with the takeaways after the Terrence Brooks interception? It's the Jonathan Brooks touchdown to give Texas a commanding lead to close out this first half.
2 touchdowns in the final 2 minutes for Texas. Fair catch, 12 seconds to go. Again, TCU will get the ball to start the second half, but mistakes which have cost TCU all season long, rearing their head again with that Josh Hoover interception. You saw Sonny Dykes talking to his freshman quarterback about making better decisions in that situation. Let's see if TCU just hands it off here and goes to the locker room down 20. Here's Bailey. And Bailey getting to the outside, tackled at the 41-yard line. Your TCU to call timeout. Yep, absolutely. Sonny Dykes is going to do that. One more play, and remember, Griffin Kell has a 56-yard field goal in this game. Kell's made a 57-yarder, and he had a 56-yarder in this game. You got 5 seconds left, though. Do you have enough time to get something to the sideline more than 8 or 10 yards, though?
It's going to be tough.
They put a second back on, so you get 6
seconds. Something outbreaking, and with the additional timeout, you don't have to get out of bounds. Would like to see them get somewhere around the 40-yard line. It's about 19 yards here to be within striking distance for Griffin Kell. I think anything positive here to give you any kind of momentum heading into halftime would be huge for TCU.
They've got to come up with a way, too, guys, when they get into the locker room and come back out, getting success on first down, and somehow coming up with a way, Dusty, of creating explosive plays. They haven't been able to get the ball downfield and flip field position offensively.
You know, think about last year to this year. They actually have more explosive plays this year than last year, but explosive play touchdowns. They have 50 fewer explosive play touchdowns than they had a year ago. Hoover looking to the sideline. It's caught. Oh, and then dropped. Williams put it on the deck. You would have been looking at about a 65-yard field goal had he caught that. Now you're in Hail Mary territory here.
With Savion Williams, he's really been the bright spot for TCU in the first half. The only mistake we've seen from their big 6'5" target.
Hoover again going toward the sideline. And Williams tackled, and that'll end the half. Not sure why they didn't just chuck it downfield there. Texas with a couple of big scores late, opening up a 20-point lead over TCU. Coming up after the break, it's the Capital One halftime report with Kevin Negandhi and Booger McFarland.
You're watching Veterans Week coverage on ESPN, brought to you by USAA.
Welcome back to Saturday Night Football presented by Capital One. This is Veterans Week on ABC presented by USAA. From Amon G. Carter Stadium in Fort Worth, you're watching the Big 12 Conference on ESPN. The Texas Longhorns trying to go to 9-1 overall and 6-1 in league play, alone atop the Big 12 standings, leading TCU at halftime 26-6 thanks to 2 touchdowns in the final 61 seconds of the first half. TCU will get the ball to start the second half, but a measly 110 yards of total offense for the Horned Frogs, while Texas put up 331. Major Everhart is deep. This will be a touchback. Will come out to the 25. Dave Pasch, Dusty Dvorak, Tom Luganville down on the field. Well, you watch this Texas team. So hard to go undefeated these days in college football. They're one play away from being unbeaten. They look like a playoff team. We've had them 3 times now.
That was a dominant performance in the first half. Both sides of the football. Defensively, TCU can't do anything. 0 for 5 on third down for the Frogs. They're going to have that change here in the second half. And then offensively, they really started to get that offensive running attack going late in the half. Quinn Ewers started to settle in. Make this opening possession so important. TCU is productive and able to move the football.
Going to try to run Bailey and establish him, but just too much speed on the outside. Little hand fighting with Barron, who shoves him out of bounds. That's a gain of 6. Imani Bailey averages over 100 yards per game on the season on the ground, but he had only 5 carries in the first half for less than 30 yards. TCU runs the most plays per minute in the Power 5, so going up tempo here as you would imagine. Bailey again, and he's got a first down. Play fake. And here's J.P. Richardson. Dragged down by Jalen Ford. Just short of the line to gain. Let's check in with Tom.
Well, guys, I'll tell you, this is good news right here because Sonny Dykes said, hey, we've got to stop getting out into 1st and 15, 2nd and 10. First down's key if you want to be up tempo. But he said it's the same stuff, different day from what they've seen so far this year. But this tempo here is exactly what he was hoping to see.
Bailey gets the first down on the ground out to the 48. 2 first downs to start this opening possession of the third quarter.
Nice job getting Imani Bailey integrated into the offense. A couple of decent runs before that first down. J.P. Richardson, saw him established. 2 first downs here to start this drive. It's exactly what TCU needed coming out of half.
And you brought this up to me at halftime, reminding me about Texas. A couple of games recently against Houston and against Kansas State. They saw leads, big leads, evaporate. We'll see if that happens here. Bailey again between the tackles into Texas territory. Dragged down by Anthony Hill Jr., but that's about 7 yards there on first down.
It's a really good block by the left guard, Colton Deary, opening up that hole. And Imani Bailey hitting that downhill. Really good pickup on first down. That's so important for this TCU offense to stay in front of the chains on these drives.
So hard to run against this Texas front. You see Sweat right on cue, getting off a block and making the tackle. Going to be close to a first down, and it is. Needed 3, got 3. Texas, one of the best run defenses in the country. They held Kansas State to just 43 yards on the ground. Sweat and Murphy, maybe the best defensive tackle tandem in the country.
So good. Sweat's got that size at 362 in strength. You can't move him. And then Byron Murphy just 6'1", 308. But, man, he's quick. His hands are so strong. And an excellent inside pass rusher.
Gonna run it again here. Cam Cook, true freshman, just his 10th carry of the season. We barely have seen Trey Sanders at all this year. Transfer from Alabama, they thought would give him something at the running back position. But when it's not Imani Bailey, it's either Trent Battle, and now we're getting a little Cam Cook. Just a 1-yard run on first down. 3 minutes gone by here in the third quarter. They fake the jet sweep. Now throwing it, and a pass out in front, incomplete, intended for Richardson. 3rd and 9.
That's just one that Josh Hoover wishes he could have back. Ball just does not come out of his hand clean, and going to be important here. 3rd down, the first half was a huge problem for TCU. They were 0 for 5. This is the number 2 3rd down defense coming into the night in all of college football. They are stingy when it comes to 3rd down.
TCU's been in 3rd and long as well all night long. See if they can get 4 or 5, give themselves an easier shot at converting on 4th down if need be. Hoover in trouble. Sack back at midfield. Fumbled the ball, but recovered by John Lands, the center. Trill Carter was there for the Longhorns.
Well, it's just good coverage down the field. Nowhere for Josh Hoover to go with the ball. You're going to see an inside stunt here and just pressure from the interior. Really nice job on the inside. Trill Carter pressing that pocket from the interior. That's more of a coverage sack. Josh Hoover had nowhere to go with the football, and the Texas rush gets home.
3rd sack, and because they had lost all that yardage there, they're forced to punt instead of going for it on 4th down. And the fair catch made by Worthy around the 10. 26-6, Texas in front. Look at our Nissan Heisman watch. Penix, Nix, Travis, McCarthy, Beck, all in the conversation. Who's your front runner?
I think it's got to be Michael Penix right now. What they're doing, because their defense is not helping them out very much. They're having to win by scoring a ton of points. I think there's still a long way to go in this race, but right now, I think the Heisman watch graphic is right. I think Penix got to be the front runner at this point.
Tom, you agree?
Yeah, I totally agree. And again, to do that against Utah's defense, another impressive outing.
Quinn Ewers handing off to Jonathan Brooks on 1st down. Gets good yardage across the 15, brought down by Chase Biddle.
I just wonder, not appearing on that graphic, but what about Jonathan Brooks? He continues to do what he's done here down the stretch. He's got the rest of this ball game, 2 more regular season games, and a potential Big 12 championship. I mean, he's been outstanding for this offense all season long.
He's up to 10 touchdowns rushing on the season, 1 receiving. You'd have to think the numbers got to be a lot more gaudy as Worthy makes the catch and moves the chains at the 21.
And let's just be real. I mean, it's a quarterback award, right? I mean,
for the most part, yeah.
Devontae Smith won it a couple years ago, but I mean, as you saw at the graphic there, I mean, as great as Marvin Harrison Jr. is, and a guy like Jonathan Brooks or Ollie Gordon before today was on a real tear. I mean, just kind of feels like we're in a place now where it's typically going to go to a quarterback.
I mean, if a running back gets it, you think of what Derrick Henry did that year, Mark Ingram did that year. They had ridiculous numbers. 1st down, Ewers looking downfield, taking a shot. Mitchell stopped running, and the pass is incomplete. Josh Newton in coverage for TCU. So you look at the most rushing yards by underclassmen in Texas history, and obviously they've got an incredible running back history. Brooks right there with him.
Also the receiving yards, though. He's well over 300 yards receiving, is also on the season. And there's a chance that he could close in on close to 2,000 total yards. You have to close strong, but man, he's been great for this offense. There's a nice run here.
Yep, the cutback and out to the 30. That's 9 more yards for Jonathan Brooks, who is up to 82 yards rushing and 74 yards receiving at a 73-yard catch and run to set himself up for a 1-yard touchdown run for Texas's first score. 3rd and 1 though here for the Longhorns, and they're going to throw it in a big stick after the catch by Cook. Nice hit by Kamara, and it's 4th down, and now Texas will have to punt as they lose yardage.
Well, I love this. Watch Kamara. Just going to come, fly downhill. Recognizes Cook's going to receive the screen. Worthy trying to get the block. No time. And an outstanding tackle by Kamara to force the punt. TCU needs to get some kind of spark. Needs to get something going. Defense forcing the punt here on Texas opening possession.
You wonder if Sark says, you know what, maybe he's trying to get too cute there. Just hand it off to Brooks as that was almost blocked. Richardson backpedaling, fields it on the 25. They could use a big special teams play. They won't get it though. Richardson gets pushed back at the 36. Midway through the 3rd quarter. TCU ball when we come back, but it's a major uphill climb. Tonight's Mark of a Fighter Moments brought to you by Modelo.
Well, this was a ball game up until This touchdown pass to Adonai Mitchell. And then the first play TCU has offensively, it's an interception by Terrence Brooks. Josh Hoover never saw the coverage, and then Texas capped off that drive with a Jonathan Brooks touchdown over the span of 61 seconds. 13 points scored by Texas. And tell you another turning point in this game also, 7-6. You had a big interception by Miller Bradford, and then it was Jordan Whittington that chased him down, knocked the ball loose, caused the fumble. Texas regained possession. They actually go down and score on that drive. Just a game-changing type of play during that sequence also.
Otherwise, TCU would have had the ball inside the Texas 40. Hoover with a quick throw out in space. They're getting it to Savion Williams again. Run out of play at the 40-yard line by Malik Muhammad. Also a big hit out of bounds by Texas, but no penalty marker thrown on Jalen Gilbo.
Savion Williams been prominently featured all throughout this ball game.
Second down and 6. Play fake. Hoover again to the perimeter. Here's JoJo Earl. First time we've called the Alabama transfer's name tonight. He'll come up short of the line to gain by about 2 or 3. Gilbo on the takedown. Third down coming up for TCU.
See, that's pursuit from the Texas defense. They are fast down there, Tom.
They can run, and they can run sideline to sideline. There's not an area of their defense where you look at them and say, wow, this is a real void, or boy, this is something that could really be exposed. Maybe the corners on the perimeter, but those guys in run support are so good too, as we've seen versus the wide receiver screens tonight from TCU.
See what they dial up here. Pete Kwiatkowski, the defensive coordinator. Third down and 3. Hoover on the rollout, looking downfield. Got a receiver, and in traffic. What a catch for a first down at the 31-yard line by Jalen Robinson.
Boy, this is an excellent throw by Josh Hoover on the move to the right. He puts that out in front, and good strong hands by Jalen Robinson bringing that catch in. Big conversion for TCU.
Gain of 25. Hoover, little dump off pass. Jared Wiley, former Texas Longhorn, 3 years in Austin, the last couple here in Fort Worth. 5th-year senior, captain, down to about the 30. Blackwell on the stop.
Maurice Blackwell, good speed to the football. And then it's Ryan Watts, also the big corner, helping in pursuit. Just catch tackle for so many of these TCU pass catchers. Just that speed and effort to the ball from that Longhorns defense.
Bailey gets the carry down to the 25. Gain of about 4. You would think 4 down territory for TCU. Can they get in the end zone here, make things interesting with a little heat on Texas? Just the fact that TCU's offense has been on the field. We barely saw them in that second quarter. Their defense was out there a ton in that first half, and in particular that second period. So third down and 4. Got to get to the 17. Ball just inside, as you see there. Got to get to the 22. Ball just inside the 26. Pressure coming. Pass away and caught over the middle. First down. It's battled down to the 15-yard line. Check that. It's Blake Nowell, his 9th catch of the year.
Yeah, Nowell just on a delay. Shallow cross. Unidentified by Jalen Ford and this Longhorns defense. And the second third down conversion on this drive for Josh Hoover. 0 in the first half and already 2 here on this drive.
And in the red zone for the first time tonight. Can they punch it in? Nearing 5 minutes to go. Bailey downhill. Inside the 10, dragged down by Ford at the 9. Imani Bailey starting to get into a groove. They've been feeding him a lot here in the second half.
Nice hesitation, and then the burst from Imani Bailey, allowing those blocks to set up. And I talked with Kendall Browns. They've had some really bad red zone woes, and he said last week they slowed it down inside the red zone. He wanted to tell his quarterback and his offense, hey, we're in the red zone. They're slowing it down here. They were 4 for 4 a week ago in the red area. Let's see if they can cash in on a crucial drive.
Hoover going to hand it off to Bailey again, this time running to the left, breaking tackles, getting the first down before he's dropped by Burke and Gilbo. It'll be first and goal for TCU. Bailey already with more carries in this quarter than he had the entire first half.
Well, it's a good double team left guard, Colton Deary, center John Lands. A little bit of daylight there in the burst through the hole for Imani Bailey. The best this TCU offense has looked all night.
First down and goal from inside the 5. Bailey has the hot hand. 8 carries this quarter for 39 yards, about 5 yards a pop. He'll get it again up the middle, and this time he is slammed to the ground. Big stick by Tavondre Sweat. Loss of about a half yard.
Yeah, it was Tavondre Sweat, Byron Murphy, Ethan Burke. No movement there on that big Texas defensive line. Bow their necks. Nice tackle for loss on first down.
We talked with Sweat this week. He's really matured. Credits his mom being a big motivator for his growth and maturity. Run it again against Sweat in that defensive front. Gain of maybe 3 that time. Sweat on the tackle. Bring up third down and goal for TCU, nearing 3 minutes to play here in the quarter.
With no fear from Kendall Briles in this TCU offense. They're running right at the teeth of this Texas defense between the tackles. A crucial situation here for TCU.
And 4 down territory for sure. Third and goal at the 2-yard line. Gonna throw it. Jump ball incomplete. Trying to hit big Savion Williams. Ryan Watts, though, big corner at 6'3" in coverage. 4th down.
You got to give him a chance, though. That ball, no chance for the big 6'5" Savion Williams. He's got a 40-inch vertical. Tom, you got to put that pass somewhere where he has a chance to make a play.
I'm a little surprised he didn't back shoulder it and give him an opportunity to come off of the fade and hit that back shoulder. But here we go, 4th down. Do or die right here for TCU.
Yes, it is.
They spread it out here. Go empty for Hoover on 4th down and goal.
AP Richardson in the slot up top. His favorite targets.
Play clock at 5. Hoover to throw. Back of the end zone, incomplete. There was some contact, but no flag. Taff in coverage. Robinson, the intended receiver, and Texas forces a turnover on downs here late in the 3rd.
Well, it was a good drive for TCU, but they get in the red area, and it's been a problem all year punching in. And it's a problem here once again as the Texas defense comes up with a big stop.
Dave Pasch, Dusty Dvorak, Tom Luginbill back in Fort Worth. 3rd missed opportunity for TCU. Run 20 plays inside or in Texas territory. They don't have a point, and they just turned it over on downs. Ewers throwing from the middle of his end zone, gets rid of it at the last second, going for Mitchell, and the pass is on the money. Boy, has Ewers settled down here since that interception early in the game. A pickup of 20.
Boy, good protection from the end zone. A double move there on Adonai Mitchell. Ball perfectly placed. How about Sark showing no fear? Play action, throwing from his own end zone.
Long developing play, too.
Yeah, it was not a quick hitter.
He's pretty confident in his quarterback, though. Ewers off play action, looking downfield, and boy, Adonai Mitchell just stopped. I don't know if he thought it was a run play. He stopped at midfield. He taps his chest as if to say, that's on me. What an addition Mitchell's been. He's got a couple of championships, one with Georgia. Played through injury last year, missed 9 games, but he's a great addition to this Texas team.
He has been awesome for this Texas offense, and you know, obviously the 9 touchdowns jumps out, but he's also a really good perimeter blocker. He brings that championship pedigree, having won 2 national championships at Georgia. Been a key piece all season.
Ewers throwing again, and Worthy. Boy, Josh Newton had a tough time trying to cover Worthy. Another catch and a gain of 13.
You know, you give him just a little bit of cushion, and that's all it takes. That route that works, that comeback, he's back. Ball is on him immediately. I just want to sing Josh Newton's praises because he's an excellent corner, but man, he's having a tough time tonight.
Errant pass that time trying to hit Whittington. By the way, Worthy has 10 catches now for 137 yards. So he's got 59 catches and over 750 yards. Great chance to get 1,000 receiving yards. He's got a punt return for a touchdown and a very bright NFL future.
Elite speed and a playmaker, and he's improved into a quality route runner. You know, early on as a freshman, he was setting all kinds of records. He was kind of just a vertical threat, throwing screens, and now he's got the full complement as a wide receiver.
You saw that compared to what TCU's receivers have done as a group. Here's Brooks straight ahead out to the 38 for about 4 yards, so it's going to bring up third down. Brooks still down, but just waiting for a TCU defender to get off of him. 90 seconds to go here in the third quarter. Texas in command, leading by 20. Trying to get to 6-1 in league play. Would be all alone atop the conference standings. Also 9-1 overall. They're 7th right now in the college football playoff rankings. The second highest one-loss team to Oregon, which plays later tonight against USC. No upsets, though, in the top 6. Worthen, incomplete, could not come up with it. And Bradford, who had a pick in the first half, upset that he didn't get another one.
Well, it looked like Quinn Ewers really just locked in there on Xavier Worthy. I thought he had Jordan Whittington underneath for an easy first down. Good coverage down the field. Josh Newton finally gets a win, working on number 1, Xavier Worthy, and a much-needed stop once again here in this second half of the TCU defense.
Really felt like he rushed that throw a little bit. If he throws it to the sideline, I think he's got a catch.
Flag down, and the punt almost blocked. Sanborn getting rid of it at the last second. Richardson under it with the fair catch around the 26. Let's see what the penalty's about.
It's going to be offsides here, Dave. You mentioned how close it was to potentially being a block. Head start there from TCU.
Abe Kamara was close to blocking the punt. And it's on TCU, so they're letting Sark know what his options are here. Tudashinda Salam is our referee.
Offside, number 1, defense. The penalty is declined. It's first down, TCU.
All right, let's check in with Kevin. It'll be Georgia and Alabama in the SEC championship. Who knows, maybe they'll play again after that. They look like, I don't know if they're the 2 best teams right now. It was a good win by Michigan today, but certainly Alabama and Texas both with 1 loss look as good as those unbeaten teams.
That Oregon team playing tonight against USC, pretty good in their own right. Boy, Jalen Milroe, what a game he had today. He has flipped the script these last couple of weeks. 6 total touchdowns.
I'll start. Offense. All 11 players were not set prior to the snap. 5-yard penalty, first down.
You think about the fact Milroe was benched week 3. They lost to Texas in Tuscaloosa. They did not play well against South Florida. They went back to Milroe, and they have not looked back.
By the way, that win in Alabama, to me, is still the best win in all of college football this season. Only one team has ever gone into Tuscaloosa and beaten Saban by double digits. It's this Texas team.
Bailey out to the 25. Kevin threw it out there. Does Georgia leapfrog Ohio State?
Yes.
Okay.
I think so. I think with the dominant performance they're putting forth against the committee's top 10 Ole Miss team, I'd be surprised. Got a nice win against a good Missouri team who handled Tennessee at home today, a week ago, and then today just smacking around Ole Miss. I think that's going to be enough to bolster the resume.
Hoover on 2nd down and 11. Finds his favorite target tonight, Savion Williams, who gets into Texas territory. Oh, he goes skyrocketing over a defender all the way down to the 33-yard line. A gain of 42.
Wow, how about Savion Williams working back to the football, and he hits the accelerator, and how about the hurdle? As he jumps over the Texas defender, huge explosive play for this TCU offense. Savion Williams has been everything TCU hoped he would be here tonight. Man, that's as good as it gets right there, Dave. That's the high hurdles.
I mean, that and the long jump as well, as Jet Bush is injured for Texas, so it's going to bring up with 19 seconds to go first down for TCU at the Texas 33. Once they 10 to Jet Bush. We mentioned that we don't have an upset yet in the top 10. Doesn't look like we're going to have one the way things are going, although Oregon still has to play USC. Washington was in a tough game with Utah. Had a touchdown, looked like anyway, on by Washington, but the ball carrier decided to drop the ball at the 3-yard line. Otherwise, I think they would have won by more than that. Miami played well, but Florida State too much. Ohio State trouncing Michigan State, no surprise there.
Michigan doesn't throw a pass in the second half, rolling up their sleeves and getting it done. What about the Texas resume for a potential playoff spot?
We talked about the win. It's more than notable, as you said. It's huge. And then the Kansas and Kansas State wins. The loss against Oklahoma, obviously rivalry game coming down to the end.
And that Kansas State wins with a backup quarterback. Like I get that, it goes in overtime, but those turnovers, that game turned on a dime. It's a really good Texas resume. And as Alabama keeps getting better, that Texas win in Tuscaloosa only continues to brighten and shine that Texas resume.
Gonna run Bailey here, and he's tackled at the 30-yard line by Alfred Collins. Well, we said this at the outset of the telecast, that this is what Texas fans have been waiting for. Mid-November, college football playoff, Big 12 championship, all in play. And the Longhorns in command as we go to the fourth. Back after these messages and a word from our ABC stations. Well, you've got a nose tackle next to you, Kevin. I've got one next to me as well. So defensive lineman dream right there with that rip away.
Big guys got to get some love. Appreciate that, Kevin. We're getting some love here tonight. What we see from this Texas defensive tackle duo. Murphy and Sweat not in the game here on second down.
Start of the fourth quarter, TCU down 20. Bailey gets the carry. And only gets a couple yards. Boy, Jalen Ford, such a good player. Leading tackler for Texas. He's had 7 straight games with a tackle for a loss. All-American last year. Preseason Defensive Player of the Year in the Big 12. We already talked about the fact he has a picture of Dick Butkus that he carries in his wallet. He's a semifinalist for the Butkus Award. We've had a chance to meet with him a couple times. Bright young man as well. Great to talk to. Richardson on the catch across the middle with Barron defending down to about the 17. It's a first down for TCU.
Jalen Ford, he was asked this week if he knew who Dick Butkus was. He answered the question by pulling the photo out of his wallet. True student of the game. Just a very cool moment.
Bailey breaking free inside the 10, slips a tackle, and Bailey is into the end zone for the TCU touchdown. The Horned Frogs not done yet. 17-yard run.
A nice piece of running here by Amani Bailey. He's going to hit the outside. Good vision by him. And the burst, making tacklers miss as he walks into the end zone. That's exactly what TCU needed to start this fourth quarter and get themselves right back in this ball game.
Missed an opportunity the last time they had the ball. They had first and goal. They couldn't get in the end zone. They do here, though, to get back within 2 scores. So it's 26-13 with Amani Bailey getting his 5th rushing touchdown of the season.
Well, it was almost all Texas in the first half, but TCU's got a pulse, and a touchdown here from Amani Bailey gets the Frogs back in the game.
Dave Pasch, Dusty Dvorak, Tom Luganville back in Fort Worth. TCU back within 13 early fourth quarter after Amani Bailey's touchdown run. He's been the story here for TCU. The offense for the Horned Frogs really has come alive here in the second half. And Bailey, a big reason why. 17-yard touchdown. First score for TCU since the first quarter.
Committed more to the run game in the second half, and it's paying off. A lot of success from Amani Bailey.
Bailey keeping the football in what is the final scheduled meeting between TCU and Texas before the Longhorns are off to the SEC next year. Tuesday, it's the exclusive reveal of the next college football playoff top 25 rankings. In between the State Farm Champions Classic, Duke, Michigan State, Kentucky, Kansas. 2 excellent games. We'll find out where Texas is ranked after this game. Obviously, it concludes if the Longhorns hang on. And then next Saturday, our ABC Prime game, Saturday Night Football, with coverage starting 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific, Oregon State and Washington. Should be a terrific game in Corvallis. Jonathan Smith done a terrific job there. Kalen DeBoer, likewise in Washington. Big hole for Baxter on first down. And a nice play by Bradford to get him down after a gain of 9. Otherwise, it would have been a gain of 75.
Counter pull DJ Campbell and the tight end Jatavion Sanders. Big hole opened up in the burst from CJ Baxter. Touched on it earlier, Tom. He's a good-looking running back. Just a true freshman. Bright future here for this Longhorn offense.
Pretty patient for a young guy, too.
Yeah.
They'll get it again with running room again. First down across the 40, and he was the starter at the beginning of the year. Jonathan Brooks took over week 3. Brooks is right around 1,100 rushing yards on the season. And Baxter getting some work here in the 4th quarter. And Brooks with 18 carries. He had 15 at halftime. Texas plays for a Big 12 championship and gets an extra college football playoff game. Brooks has a chance to surpass what Bijan Robinson did last year, and he had almost 1,600 yards. Baxter bottled up this time. 3-yard gain. But the clock is moving.
No space there. Pretty nice job by the TCU front, but still, where there's really no running room, Baxter able to get a little bit of positive yardage. Good physical run by him. This a big possession for both sides. Texas can really distance themselves from the Frogs, and TCU can come up with another stop. They're right back in this ball game.
Quinn Ewers back after missing the last 2 games. Hands it off. Brooks. And he's thrown forward. You're going to spot him at the 49. It's a first down for Brooks and the Texas offense, and they're now in TCU territory.
The Kelvin Banks, Hayden Connor, pull backside, left guard, left tackle. You could tell right there, smart by Jonathan Brooks, gets right in the hip pocket of his big offensive tackle, Kelvin Banks. Nice piece of running. This kind of feels like one of those drives for Texas, right? That they're going to try to just impose their will, win the line of scrimmage, and hand it to the running backs.
Love Sark's approach. All right, you scored on us. All right, now we're just going to line up and run it right down your throat.
And see if you can stop it. They haven't yet. Run it again. This time to the outside. Brooks upended at the 45 by Bradford. So a gain of 4, but again, the clock is moving. Approaching 11 minutes to go. Texas leading by 13, trying to get to 9-1 and 6-1 in league plays. Best start for the Longhorns since 2009. That's their last Big 12 championship. They've won 3 Big 12 titles. That's tied with Baylor and Kansas State for the second most. Oklahoma has 14. And of course, the Sooners still alive. They're only a game back. They're beating up West Virginia right now. And they obviously have the tiebreaker with a win over Texas. Brooks again keeps the feet moving, gets the first down. At the 38, Perry with the tackle, and Brooks is hurt. Oh, man.
The offensive line doing a nice job, but right now, focus on Jonathan Brooks on the sidelines.
He was on all 4s, Dusty, and crawled off the field. He's had such an amazing year. And as good as Worthy and Sanders and Ewers are, Brooks might be the offensive MVP for Texas this year. He's hurt. A developing story with Jonathan Brooks crawling off the field after a tackle by Mark Perry and being helped into the tent. Hard to tell if it was on the plant or on the tackle by Perry on that right lower leg. And don't know if it was when the right foot planted or when Perry had a hold of that leg and pulled him to the ground, but he got off the field as quickly as he could and on all fours.
Very ginger as they helped him off. Hopefully we get some good news from Jonathan Brooks' status here pretty quickly.
Texas is at Iowa State at night next week. Black Friday, ABC hosting Texas Tech. Those are the final 2 regular season games for the Longhorns, as C.J. Baxter going to get the bulk of the work, maybe the rest of the game, maybe all the work. Tackled by Jamoy Hodge after a short gain. 2nd down and long, nearing 10 minutes to go here in the 4th quarter. Texas is inside the TCU 40 again.
And they have really slowed down the pace on this drive. Kind of a sugar huddle every time in between snaps. All runs on this entire 7-play drive to this point.
Maybe they'll be like Michigan and run it 30 times in a row to close out the game. They run it again. Baxter. Oh, it's the shoulder. Dumped at the 30. They'll mark him at the 31. So gain of 6, 3rd and 3 coming up.
Getting good movement up front by this offensive line. A little bit quicker here up to the line of scrimmage.
Baxter again. And no running room whatsoever. Met at the point of attack. Hodge is there for TCU. Oyewale in there as well. And Texas going to try a field goal here to make it a 3-score. Well, actually, it still would be technically 2 scores even with the field goal. Obviously, need 2 touchdowns and a pair of 2-point conversions. So that's a win for TCU.
Either way, a win for the Frog defense. Just forcing the field goal. Keep it to a 2-score game is huge.
And if you miss it, you're going to get good field position. 49-yard try by Auburn would match his long for his career, and he nails it. Bert Auburn from 49 yards away extends the lead to 16.
ABC Saturday Night Football is presented by Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Located on campus, the TCU Wall of Honor is where students, faculty, and staff submit photos of veterans along with information that is compiled to honor those military members. Happy Veterans Day to all those who have served our great country and currently serving or will serve in the future. Many courageous women and men doing so as we speak. Fair caught at the 10, so we'll come out to the 25 here for TCU with 8:53 to go. Down 16.
Yeah, just echo what you said. Just a huge thank you to all of our veterans, the men and women that help allow us the great freedoms we have in this country. We know freedom isn't free, and it's because of those brave folks that keep us safe each and every day. Can't say enough how much we thank you all.
And we're capping week 11 on 11-11 with Texas leading TCU in the final planned meeting between the 2 schools. Does TCU have a big drive in it? They've been much better offensively here in the 2nd half. They're going to run it straight ahead. Nothing for Bailey. Baron Sorrell there first. Jalen Ford sticking his face in there as well. Sweat also. No gain.
That's big Devondre Sweat. You can't move him. He kind of stacks everything up. Sorrell from the backside. And then Jalen Ford. Nice job by that entire front of Texas on 1st down.
To the sideline. It's caught, and it's a 1st down. And fighting is Robinson, able to move the chains out to the 37.
They're going to go fast here after that 1st down. Try to get this Texas defense misaligned.
8 minutes to go. Play action. Hoover setting up. Got a receiver wide open. Wiley on the run. The former Longhorn inside the 20 and out of bounds after a gain of 48.
Just a delayed wheel route outside. And Jahdae Barron gets lost in coverage. Wiley's wide open. And how about the big tight end at 6'7", 260, picking him up and putting him down. And TCU quickly, 2-3 plays into this drive, already in the red zone.
Look at that, 228 yards and a quarter and a half after just a $110 in the 1st half. Talked about Ewers settling in. Josh Hoover has been much better. And they're going to have a little fake reverse, and it's Wiley on the catch out to the 9-yard line. So that's a gain of 9 on the play, and TCU is inside the 10.
I like this from Kendall Bryles. Savion Williams in the backfield, handed to the quarterback, and a wide open pass on first down.
Battle got the first down to the 5-yard line, 1st and goal. Plenty of time if TCU can get in the end zone and convert on a 2-point play. You don't have to onside kick it. See what happens first. They got to get in, 1st and goal from the 5.
Now you see Texas rotating. I was going to say that D-line, they were tired there. Devondre Sweat, tired. Jonathan Brooks does not look good.
Getting help to the Texas locker room. Empty set here for Hoover. Pump fake. Fires in traffic. Incomplete. I don't know if there was a mistake there in terms of spacing by the receivers. 2nd and goal. So now, too, with the injury to Brooks, if TCU can score, you've lost maybe your best weapon, especially when you want to run the ball. Now, they have a great offensive line, and they have C.J. Baxter, but obviously Brooks is an 1,100-yard rusher this year.
Yeah, Brooks is just different. One of the best running backs we've seen in college football all season. But first things first, TCU looking to punch this ball in the end zone.
Here's Bailey, and he got tripped up. I don't know if, I think it was his offensive lineman, looked like Willis Patrick accidentally tripped him up after the gain of 2.
DJ Rogers, the tight end, he tripped over his leg. There's a big hole opened up there off the left side. Amani Bailey unable to keep his legs.
Remember, they had a chance in the 3rd quarter to punch it in. They had 1st and goal. They never got in the end zone. Hoover throwing, and it's broken up, nearly intercepted. Jalen Ford stepping in front of DJ Rogers, and it's 4th and goal.
Boy, excellent coverage by Jalen Ford in the red air. Watch him read the eyes of the quarterback. Steps right in front of this pass. He's so good and so timely in big spots.
Here we go. TCU has to get into the end zone. 4th and goal from the 3. Hoover gonna get hit. His pass juggled by Richardson and then caught for touchdown. Great concentration, J.P. Richardson. And now a 2-point conversion away from getting within 1 score with 6 minutes to play.
Wow, what a catch by J.P. Richardson. Almost taps it to himself. But you touched on it, partner. The concentration to grab that ball and bring it in. Huge from J.P. Richardson. Got to get this 2-point conversion to get it to a 1-score game.
And again, just think if TCU had converted in the 3rd quarter when they got inside the 5 and they could not punch it in. They have not tried a 2-point conversion all season long. Down 10. Can they get it to 8? They fake the pitch. Hoover throwing, fade. A lot of contact. Incomplete pass. No flag. Savion Williams with Terrence Brooks all over him. It remains a 2-possession game. Sonny Dykes wants a flag. Did not get it. He can't believe it. Boy, it felt like a lot of contact for a no call there. You watch here. Well, Sonny Dykes letting the referee, Tudashinda Salam, know that he did not like the non-call. We're going to show you, again, a replay after the kickoff. Bring Matt Austin, our rules expert, in. We'll see if TCU goes for the onside kick now that they didn't convert. Still 6 minutes to go. Down 10. They've outscored Texas 13-3 in the 4th quarter. They're going to kick it deep to Red. And this will be a touchback. All right, Matt, give us your thoughts here on the non-call on that failed 2-point play.
Well, I understand why coach is upset. The Texas player locks him up with both hands, won't let him get to the outside. You see the ball's definitely thrown to the outside. He can't go anywhere. The Texas player turned his head at first, but then disregarded the ball anymore and just played the receiver. I think there should have been a flag.
I agree with Matt. I thought that left hand, you saw the grab on the back of the jersey, prevents Savion Williams from being able to get to the football. That's the second one that it feels like Texas defenders are getting away with. Remember, there was a 4th and 2 earlier. Michael Taft might have gotten away with the pass interference. Costly one there.
Here's Baxter on the run. Again, Jonathan Brooks injured on the last possession. We have not been given an update, but it doesn't look like he's coming back just based on how he's been walking and him going to the locker room. But again, Baxter, very talented true freshman. He picks up 3 yards on first down. Clock is at 5.5 minutes and counting. TCU down 10. Texas trying to get to 9-1, 6-1 in league play. They would have a full 1-game lead on the rest of the conference with 2 games left in the regular season at Iowa State next week, and Black Friday at home against a Texas Tech team that's playing a little bit better.
Texas let this clock go well below 10 seconds. Milking this clock for all it's got.
Baxter again. Met at the 30 and pushed back. Boy, Ewers, they're not even letting Ewers throw the ball here in this 4th quarter because they've been able to run it against them. He's only got 8 pass attempts here in the half, and almost all those were in the 3rd. Now you're looking at 3rd and 5.
Yeah, that previous drive, they kicked the field goal. They kept it on the ground every single down.
0 for 3 this half on 3rd down after 3 for 7 in the first half. Let's see what Joe Gillespie, the defensive coordinator, does if he tries to dial something up here, assuming that Ewers is going to be passing. Again, Texas taking the play clock down inside 10 seconds. Ewers, and a nice stick by Josh Newton on Baxter at the 31 to force a punt. And a timeout by TCU, stopping the clock with 4:15. They'll have 2 timeouts left.
Boy, it's an outstanding play here by Josh Newton, sitting back in zone coverage. They just throw it into the flats to C.J. Baxter. And a very good open field tackle as he upends the running back. Very well done by the senior corner. And he's been battling all night. Had his struggles with Xavier Worthy at times, but defense needs to stop. One of the best cornerbacks in the Big 12 comes up with a big one for TCU.
They put 3 seconds on the clock. So 4:18 remaining, down 10. You touched on this at halftime. We brought it up early 3rd. 20-point lead last week evaporates. They go to overtime. Big lead against Houston a few weeks ago. The game Quinn Ewers gets hurt. Houston comes back. Texas wins late. It's been an issue. Texas closing out games. But again, they still have a 2-possession lead for now. Here's the punt by Sanborn, and it's not good. Richardson has some room. Trying to get the edge at the 40. Hugs the sideline and knocked out of bounds. Will they throw a flag here?
Well, they've got to throw a flag here.
In front of the Texas bench, and there it goes. It was the flag, though. It looked like maybe for a taunt or something said by a Texas player as opposed to the hit out of bounds.
Well, there should have been a flag thrown initially. J.P. Richardson is out of bounds when he gets shoved.
It was Austin Jordan that had the hit, and then it looked like Savion Red was saying something over there on the Texas bench. 22-yard return after a 37-yard punt. Sonny Dykes wants answers.
What's going on here?
He wants the truth.
You can't handle the truth, Pash.
Unsportsmanlike conduct, number 17, Texas. Here's a player in the bench area hitting one of the participating players. It's a 15-yard penalty. First down on TCU.
Well, first of all, they blew that call. That's a late hit. And then you have the other issue. That should have been 30 yards in penalties.
He's all the way in the white when he gets shoved.
That is number 17's first unsportsmanlike conduct foul of the game.
Wow. And all of a sudden, TCU's got the football now at the 36-yard line.
What a bad miss there. Man, that was a brutal hit by Texas out of bounds. They still get the ball at the 36, but should have at the 21.
And again, they got to get 2 scores, whether that's, a field goal, 2 touchdowns, and we've seen with Griffin Kellis' leg, they're already in field goal range from where they sit.
Texas bringing heat, and the pass is incomplete. A little behind Wiley. 4 minutes to go, 2nd down and 10. Redshirt freshman Josh Hoover making just his 4th career start through just 1 pass a year ago. Had a bad interception at the end of the first half. Texas turned that into points. In fact, Texas scored 2 touchdowns in the last 61 seconds. Otherwise, a much different score. Hoover looking over the middle. Caught. It's Savion Williams inside the 15-yard line. Down to the 14, a gain of 22.
Boy, strong hands by Savion Williams, and his excellent evening continues with his 10th catch of the night.
Fresh set of downs. Hoover to the air. End zone. Caught. Touchdown, Savion Williams. And look at how much time is left. 3.5 minutes. We got a game in Fort Worth. What a comeback by TCU here at home. Down 20 early in the 3rd.
Zone coverage, in-cutting route from Savion Williams. The timing on that was perfect to fit it in between the linebacker and the safety. And Savion Williams has been excellent tonight. 11 catches, $164, and a big touchdown.
And the point after makes it a 3-point game with 3:28 to go.
Okay, he's going to be working right here. In-cutting route. Hey, safety here, linebacker here is going to drop into coverage. And he's going to fit this pass right in between the linebacker and the safety. As soon as Savion Williams comes out of that break, the ball is coming out of Josh Hoover's hands. Perfectly thrown football. And just like that, TCU alive and well here in Fort Worth.
Savion Williams, man, in traffic, over the middle. The awareness of where people are, not just on that one, Dusty, but the catch before.
He's been the go-to guy for Hoover, who, by the way, in the second half, guys, 14 of 19, 193 passing yards and 2 touchdowns. And if you're TCU, you don't have to onside kick it here.
No.
You can kick it deep. You have 2 timeouts. Texas is going to have to move the ball and get a couple first downs. And just 103 yards of offense for Texas. Why has Texas not been able to get anything going offensively here in the second half?
Taking their foot off the accelerator. You know, in the first half, they were very aggressive, throwing the football a lot, getting Xavier Worthy involved. They've leaned more on the running game, and TCU's come up with back-to-back stops defensively.
I mean, 24th quarter points by TCU. This has popped up. And Moore electing to return it here. And he shouldn't have. Tackled at the 15-yard line. So the true freshman makes a big mistake there. Instead of the fair catch, which gives you the ball at the 25, he stopped at the 15. College game day next week. Headed to James Madison for next week's matchup against Appalachian State. Jonas Brothers are going to have a live special performance during the show. James Madison 10-0 on the year, but right now not eligible because of the transition to FBS. You have to have a 2-year window. This is just year 1 of that transition. Not eligible for a New Year's 6 or to be in the college football rankings.
Love the game days going there. Hate that they're not eligible for postseason play.
And Ewer's going to throw it on first down. Hits Shatavion Sanders. Nice open field tackle by Bradford after a gain of about 3. Again, no Jonathan Brooks. Starting running back for Texas, injured earlier this quarter. He has not returned. 3 minutes to go. 2nd down and 7 for Texas.
Well, we touched on it. 21-0 against Houston. After the bye week, Houston fought back, was in it late. Kansas State was 27-7. That game goes to overtime. Texas has found a way to win these games, but they have allowed their opponents to creep back in, and they've done it again here tonight on the road against TCU.
Crowd coming alive again. It's Baxter. And dragged down at the 23-yard line. A flag comes down, too. It's a late flag thrown by the referee. Going to be a hold against Texas. So that's going to back the Longhorns up. 2:31 to go. TCU with 2 timeouts left. So the referee, Tudashinda Salam's microphone not working there, but clearly you saw that it was a holding call in Texas. It backs the Longhorns up to their 9-yard line. So it's going to be second down and 16, it looks like. Got to get to the 25.
Christian Jones, guys.
Yep. Right tackle, 70. Thanks, Tom.
Clock is running. Going to hand it off to Baxter. And he's knocked down at the 12. And Sonny Dykes will use a timeout to stop the clock with 2:06 to go. Now you're looking at third down and 13. TCU down 3, trying to get the ball back. And again, you got Texas alone atop the Big 12 standings at 5-1. Oklahoma State got throttled today by UCF. So the Cowboys among a handful of teams with 2 losses.
So much on the line in this game, and a crucial 3rd and 12. Big 12 championship game aspirations obviously on the line. College football playoff implications. Texas, the number 7 team per the committee. They've been able to play Houdini a couple of times since that Oklahoma loss against Houston and a week ago against Kansas State. And Quinn Ewers back from injury. Massive play coming up here on 3rd and 12.
They're 0 for 4 on 3rd down this half. And it's 3rd and 12. They have to get to the 25-yard line.
Xavier Worthy.
Will TCU come after Ewers? Ewers from the pocket, taking a shot, downfield. Mitchell, what an adjustment! He pulls it in! First down, Texas! What a play by Mitchell. He's done that twice, adjusting in midair to make a great catch.
Wow, what a play by Adonai Mitchell. Over the shoulder, adjusts to the ball on the fly, and brings it in as he falls to the ground. Just incredible concentration on 3rd and 12. Got to have a big play. That's exactly what Adonai Mitchell gives them.
And it might have just won the game. TCU has just 1 timeout remaining. The clock is moving as they hand it off here. C.J. Baxter. And TCU will call its final timeout.
Well, throughout the course of the season, and you've heard Steve Sarkisian say it, you got to find a way to win in different ways. And just what an adjustment from Adonai Mitchell. One-on-one, working outside of Avery Helm, beaten coverage at Pastone outside, and Adonai Mitchell on the fly, adjusts, brings it in. Just a huge play for this Texas football team. Wow, what a play.
Dusty, he makes the hard look so easy all year long.
And, you know, Tom and Dusty, again, we touched on, you bring a guy in with championship experience when you're trying to build that culture, and you get a guy who's got 2 titles under his belt, a veteran presence. He makes the big play. You're going to have games like this when you're trying to win a title. Texas has had a bunch of them. You need guys like that know what to do in these situations, and they've got one in Mitchell.
Just got to find a way. A lot of trust there. Quinn Ewers to Adonai Mitchell.
Now Texas with 2 more plays, even if they don't get a first down, can basically take it down to 10 seconds on the clock. Here's Baxter pushing the pile. Down to the 43. Again, no timeouts left, so the next snap on 3rd down is going to come with about 45 seconds or so remaining. A first down obviously wins the game. Texas might have a decision to make if they don't get the first down, whether to go for it on 4th down or punt it, which might run the clock out if they punt it.
Depending on how much time comes off the clock during this play.
Right, it's possible.
They may not even have to snap the ball again. Right. This could be the last snap of the game right here. Probably will be.
Although Baxter is stopped, well, they blow it dead right away. They just whistled it now, and they're inside 40 seconds. They're not going to have to snap the ball. Thought they might have blown it dead sooner after forward progress was stopped. They did not, and that's it. Texas is going to win. They're going to hold on after almost blowing a 20-point lead. But a big play by Adonai Mitchell on 3rd and 12 to adjust to a Quinn Ewers deep ball, make the catch. And Steve Sarkisian's Longhorns go to 9-1, 6-1 in Big 12 play, alone atop the standings. 2 games left in the regular season at Iowa State next Saturday night. A Friday night game at home against Texas Tech on ABC. And here's Thomas Sark.
Well, Coach, you like to make it interesting, and this team has found different ways to win. Assess the second half performance.
Well, you know, we had a chance to kind of finish them, and we didn't, you know, and so lesson learned for us there. But at the end of the day, we had to possess the ball, not give it back to them. Great job by our guys finding a different way to win again this week.
Certainly wanted to run it, concerted effort in the second half. How would you assess the play of the quarterback?
Well, I thought Quinn played pretty well. Coming off that injury, made some big-time plays and some big-time moments for us. So hopefully we can continue to get him more and more healthy as we move forward.
All right, thanks. Congrats.
Thanks, Tom. Appreciate you, buddy.
And what's next, too, is the question about Jonathan Brooks and what the status is of Brooks going forward for Texas after he was injured in the 4th quarter. Texas with a 1-game lead over Oklahoma, Oklahoma State, Kansas State, and Iowa State for now. And again, 2 games left at Ames next week and home against Texas Tech on Black Friday as Texas inches closer to its first Big 12 championship since 2009. They hold on to beat TCU 29-26. We'll see where they are in the college football playoff rankings revealed Tuesday night. For Dusty DeBorchak, Tom Luganbill, I'm Dave Pasch. So long from Fort Worth.